thing right here
Yeah, tell me about it.
is letting all the people know
Ooh, what's that?
what burnouts talk about.
Yeah, what did they talk about, baby?
You know, the chronic. Check it out. Ooh, that bud's so scandalous. You hit it too hard, you can't handle this. So you're smoking that thing, then you pass it to us with that look in your eyes so devious. You inhale with all you got. Suck it down hard till you see in dots. And your body's on the ground, but your mind is not, cause you...
Hold up. Hey. So hot, so hot, so hot, so hot, so hot, so hot, so hot. I'm so high.
In the morning, I smoke 2 joints at night.
I smoke 2 joints when I play video games, and every 10,000 points.
Is it such a crime? Hey, everybody should be getting high.
Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey, smoke weed every day.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
Oh yeah, what up? What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you.
And I am Bogard scot-free, and my friends call me Scott.
Yeah. All right. So on Wednesdays, we normally do fantasy news today, and we are going to be covering some news because we got some shit to talk about, like Debo and some other things. But it is 420, so we got to keep it real because, man, the 420 crew is definitely in the building. And speaking of the 420 crew, check out the shirt. You guys got to get in on it. Go to 420crew.org and go cop one. There's a grip of colors in there. And, oh, hold on. I didn't pull this down yet.
Yeah, hey, man, I'm digging the threads, B.
And then, boom, we got the Buda Baker signed jersey. Ooh, signed jersey that we're doing a little bit later today. So the way that you get entered in the signed Buda Baker jersey is by getting signed up at Patreon, patreon.com/FFHustler420. Everyone who's a Patreon member already, you are already in it. Anybody who signs up today, if you get on the superstar tier or higher, so that's the $10 tier or higher, you're going to get double the entries into the giveaway that's happening in a little bit. And extra entries, we could do super chats. You do a $5 super chat, that's 1 entry. Or if you send it via Cash App or Apple Pay or Facebook Pay, you're going to get 2 entries for every $5 that you do. So let me see if I can put the banner on here.
Whole in the entire universe give me money.
Oh yeah.
Hey, did you hear the story about Buda Baker?
Let's hear it. I did not.
So his mom's when she went in labor, she was in a bakery. Actually, I was trying to make something up stupid. It wasn't going anywhere fast.
What up, Ron? Let's see who's in the building. What up, Ron? Oh, yeah. Triple X Lex. What up, bro?
What up, Triple X Lex? Long time.
Antonio in the building.
Hey, Antonio, don't ever leave.
Yeah,
we
silly
need
white
Antonio.
boy. What up, bro? Hey, Devin. I don't know if you're just at home chilling, smoking. Let me know if you want to get on the smoke session. I'll send you the link. You can come in, talk some shit, and smoke a little bit with us.
Is that Hess?
No. This is Devin.
Oh, you said Devin. My bad.
Silly white boy.
Yeah, I fuck with silly white boy. What up?
And Antonio said, Debo to the Jets. It's just a dream, but prayers.
Okay, hold on. Should we go right there?
Yeah, let's just jump into it because that's the spiciest news of the week.
Look at my birthday twin. Hey, you could show them a thread right now, Huss, can't you?
Yeah.
I was just saying this about an hour ago. You know what I'm saying? That it would make sense if there is a trade partner that it's the Jets. One, you have Rob Saleh and Shanahan and Mike LaFleur. They're all buddies. What do you know? Mike LaFleur is the OC, a Shanahan disciple, ripoff. He's over there in New York. And so Debo would know the system. I mean, you got the formula that you're supposed to do. Have a young QB, put several weapons around him, right? Debo, Elijah Moore, Michael Carter sounds like some great weapons behind that offensive line that's supposed to be good, right?
Yep.
And then you couple that with the fact they already tried to go after Tyreek Hill, lost that out to the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And they you would have had to pay Tyreek too, so they're prepared to pay him.
Yeah.
They tried to offer up their first round pick, which is 10 overall, if I remember correctly. They tried to do this to get DK Metcalf. They shut that down.
Yep.
And I think now this could happen. First of all, I've been on record for saying that we're not going to pay him that $25 million. And that we were trying to actively trade him away.
Yeah.
Then when Debo couldn't get his money from us, you know what he said? He said, I want to be traded. It's like, motherfucker, we've been trying to trade you. It's just like when you fire somebody and they be like, fired? You can't fire me. I quit. You know what I mean? It's some egotistical young shit. And what's sad is that this is how the game is now. You know what I mean? And if I'm the Niners and I'm Shanahan, I'm arrogant. I probably feel like I could. This was me. Debo
made you Debo. This is the system that made Debo.
Exactly. You know what I mean? We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. You know what I mean? He's on that shit. And he's like, listen, I'll take another motherfucker, throw him in the backfield. I'm a genius. You know what I mean? And then you look at if I'm John Lynch, I'm gonna notice that fucking Adams just got a first round plus in a trade.
Good looking Micavelli. Now 2 minutes to 4:20. I just packed my bowl. Let's get ready to smoke it. We're definitely going to be smoking East Coast 420 and Central 420. We're going to be here at least that long.
Yep. I'm already good and off some edibles. I'm doing the indoor sports right now because I got the retakes. You know what I'm saying? But hey, check. I'm not even going to be on Playmakers tonight. Luigi's in full effect. We're doing a 420 right. This is the appetizer right here. You know what I'm saying?
Throw it in the chat. Throw it in the chat what you're smoking on. Freak Stomp 49er said I'm puffing on some apple fritters. So I got like six kinds in this little container. I got some gelato, some Alien Tahoe, gelato crossed with something else. I got like 3 different types of cookies in here. So I got it all in here and I'm just picking out different little nugs.
Yeah. I'm off a little peanut butter joint. It's a sativa edible. Feeling really good. It's crazy because I feel like I can write a book right now.
And then you say you got some dabs in too earlier?
Yep. Got a little bit of yabba dabba do action.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely counterbalanced because the dabs were heavy indica. You know what I'm saying? And right now I'm pulling on this little birthday cake because, man, it's basically weed's birthday today. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. And Ron said going with the mango, OG, and green crack. Man, and I know green crack's your favorite, so treated yourself for 420. I like it. And Micavelli said smoking on gelato. I love the gelato strains. Yeah, man, the cookies, they just keep evolving. I love it.
Yeah.
And Micavelli said, what I miss about Debo. All right, well, so there's already been a riff between him and the 49ers for, I don't know, maybe like two weeks now or so, where he's been saying he wants a contract. Motherfucker wants to get paid. He's got 1 year left on his deal, but he wants to re-up right now after the best year of his career so far. And 49ers, they're pretty much going to be playing hardball. So the negotiations is pretty much like it was at a headbutt right away. And it seems like Debo's going to be traded. We don't know where. We heard the Jets. That's real likely what Bogard's talking about earlier. I heard rumors.
I'm just going through the reasoning why I believe the Jets would be the spot. Because it's out of conference. There's a coaching correlation. They already tried to trade for X, Y, and Z receiver and would have been willing to pay them. They happen to have a high-end first-round pick. What do you know? Niners don't have any first-round picks. So moving a Debo, we could wait. And when they're on the clock, if there's a receiver we like, because who's to say we even go receiver if we took that first round pick? You know what I mean?
Not, you guys aren't going receiver with first round. Like I even said it last year. If you guys really want to win a Super Bowl, go draft Kyle Pitts instead of Lance. And that would have been the move that might have got that offense over the hump. But, you know, we'll never know.
Oh, okay. Speaking of an annoying hump that we can't get over, Jimmy is what fucks this all up, because I love the handsome hero, Jimmy Guapo. I love him. That's why I can't get mad at him. He just smiles. I'm like, come here. You know what I mean? Even though I want to, like, you know, fuck him up, because
oh shit, 420 on the East Coast. I missed about a minute. Let's spark it up. Yeah, Lee said happy 420. Let's get it.
But here's the thing, bro. Oh, shout out to Lee, man. He's our boots on the ground, our ear to the streets. You know what
up, David P? What's going on, bro? Don't forget, we're doing the Buddha Baker signed jersey giveaway today, everybody.
Yep.
Oh,
Buddha,
yeah.
Shout out to all the Buddha lovers. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Hold on. Where is it? Smoking Buddha.
You got to get a drop of that Buddha lava. That's the one.
There we go. Smoke it up for 420, Ron.
Okay, but look at this. Going back to what I was saying, though, with Jimmy. Jimmy gets hurt in the game against the Cowboys. And then he still takes us to the title game. Here's the thing. Everybody already knew Jimmy was hurt. But, of course, in the playoffs, we're not going to let nobody know that he significantly hurt his throwing arm shoulder. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, he tore something around in or around the rotator cuff, right? So, you know, unfucking fortunately, we lose the title game, and then a motherfucking Jimmy has to get a surgery. Before that, we had Pittsburgh, Carolina, New Orleans, Indianapolis. These were all teams that were interested in Jimmy. We had things on the table, perhaps. He gets a surgery, and he can't even throw a ball for 16 weeks. That put the timeline on June. That means no one would ever trade for him, even if you knew it was a minor injury, a minor surgery, if there even is such a thing. It's just the fact that he wouldn't pass a physical. You know what I mean? So
you know what it is? It's everything that you said about him and believe about him. You guys win ugly with handsome Jimmy. That's going to come down to winning and losing football games. That's going to come down to trading his ass, because everything is hella ugly right now. So if they turn out a pretty trade with Jimmy right now, that's going to be some Shanahan and Lynch just really doing their thing.
Okay, you know how I be on the local shit out here, like the real underworld local shit. You know what I'm saying, with some reliable motherfuckers that are around them. And one of the rumors was, well, not even one of the rumors, it was something they were legit saying was that they were like, we're going to find Jimmy a landing spot, but we want him to be happy with it too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And apparently Washington had 2 second rounders for us. I would have took that, bro, because these 2 second rounders, you know what I'm saying? That's squeezing the juices out of Jimmy. To me, what are we going to get, a first round? It's not going to happen, right? So, but here's the thing. Jimmy probably didn't want to go there. And then it's like, oh, by the way, I got to get the surgery anyway. And then the QB carousel happens, and we're stuck with Jimmy. March 16 comes around, and then that $25 million's on the books. This is why I even brought this up. Who wants to get paid $25 million? Debo. And we can't even do that because the handsome hero Jimmy is stuck fucking us with his handsome ass.
You know what sucked is we've been right about Jimmy this whole time, because even after Trey Lance, I know there's always the hype, you know, QB drafted, you know, top 5, they're gonna be inserted right away. I mean, you said it, I said it too, that Jimmy was gonna be the guy unless he got hurt. And he was. And you even said he might be like one of those trade guys, mid 2022 trade deadline guys. So,
what did I always say? I said we win ugly with handsome Jimmy. And then when they asked me about Lance, because I was the Lance truther, and I was glad we got Lance, because I even said on record he's gonna have to sit a year, because as long as Jimmy play good, Jimmy don't get hurt, Jimmy don't lose job. You remember that?
Yep.
That was my shit. Jimmy played good. Jimmy don't get hurt. Jimmy don't lose job.
And it was true the entire year. He didn't get hurt to where he was like out for weeks and weeks and weeks. I mean, what was he out the most at 2 weeks?
But in all fairness, Lance did get his shot because Jimmy did get hurt at one point. And when Lance got in there, it just, Shannon was like, nah, he's not ready yet. Jimmy, he probably went in there. Jimmy's like, I got a finger injury. He went in there, shook his hand real firm, started squeezing it. Nah, you're good. You're good.
Damn, Life in Sports Talk with Jake. What up, bro? He said Bogard's so high he doesn't even have his hat on. 1 in a million.
You know what? I couldn't find a hat that matched this ill Outcast shirt I've never wore on the screen yet. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, man. That is a fire shirt.
I was like, I don't got too many black hats. You know what I mean? Like, but then also I like things to correlate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got if I wear, how I am. It's the details.
Yep.
You
And
know
speaking of details, because devil's in the details when it comes to some Quentin Tarantino films. And if you guys caught it on Silver Screen Breakdown, what was it? A week and a half ago, we broke down Pulp Fiction. Okay. And this week, this Saturday, your Saturday night Silver Screen Breakdown, we're breaking down my favorite Quentin Tarantino movie, Jackie Brown. And everything about, like Bogard's talking about, it's got a color coordinate and everything. Samuel L. Jackson, every single outfit that he wears in that movie, it is all on point, and it all starts with the Kangol.
Yep, and the Kangol to match.
Yep.
Hey, now I don't know if y'all remember, but there was like an urban store. It was called Mr. Rags, and like they used to sell a bunch of FUBU and all kind of shit. Like this joint was like, maybe it was a California thing because I saw it down south too. But anyways, that's where you got the Kangol hats at because they had all the colors, B. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. And watching that movie over and over just makes me want to go get some Kangol hats because, man, they're just
those
fly.
fuckers weren't cheap. Those fuckers were like $50, bro.
Yeah.
And we'll depend on which one. Like, I never did the furries, right?
I got one furry.
Yeah, I never really did the furries. But, like, I must have bought so many white ones because the white get dirty. I'm like, it's done.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, what am I going to wash it? It's never look the same. You know what I mean?
I got the furry one in honor of the Furley one. Every time I was rocking the Mac Dre airbrush, I was trying to get that, the furry Kangol in there.
You was trying to get in touch with the Furley ghost.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, we're not alone. Ron made it to the smoke sesh. What up? What up? Where we go? Here we go. You suck. You suck. What up, Ron? What up, Ron?
Hey, what up, man?
What's going on?
So, hold on, man. You didn't even introduce him right, man. He is president of the Pulp Fiction fan club, bro. Ron.
Hell yeah.
I introduced him correctly.
There we go. And we're going to end. What do you think about Jackie Brown? We talked a little bit in text, Ron, but I know no one besides me really thinks that Jackie Brown is better than Pulp Fiction. But where does it align with all of your other Tarantino movies?
I mean, it has the Tarantino like feel to it, where like you can almost put that in like a series with Reservoir Dogs. Like it has that same, genre where certain other movies.
Hey, Ron's really high.
I am. But I like it. It is. There's something real about it that I like that you don't quite get from the other ones.
And that's really what it comes down to for me, because like Sam Jackson in that movie that character feels like way more real than Jules and John Travolta. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know, like they're almost like cartoon like hitmen, is what it seems.
It feels more like a real story than a comic or like a novel, right.
Well,
even though it was based on a novel.
I got some Jackie Brown isms for you. That character, it was, first of all, it's an adaptation of a book, right?
Yeah, rum punch.
Yeah, and like of course he remixed it and freaked it like he would. You feel me? Because he's Tarantino. But like the Sam Jackson character, like the style of the character, everything, it came from his uncle because he had like a second mom, which was like his mom's best friend. She was a sister. You know what I mean? And she had a brother that was in and out the pen, all the shit, and he real isms, you know what I mean? Real LA motherfucker, you know what I mean? And just lace him with game all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because so it's like that's why it's kind of crazy because Tarantino, you could tell he gets it because he was raised, this was part of his family. He would, you know what I mean? That's why he could appeal to a black audience. You know what I'm saying? Like Sam Jackson is one of those guys that he was already Sam Jackson's a thespian, first of all. He's not just an actor. This guy, you know what I mean? He did it all. Then but Tarantino kind of really put him on the map. You know what I mean? I mean, he was already in Spike Lee's joint. What was that? Do the Right Thing, whatnot. He was in a Jungle Fever. But once he was Jules, bro, you know what I mean? And Nipsey, but the Jackie Brown one, that's I feel like, you know what I mean? What was sad to me was that Tarantino was saying this was based on his uncle. To me, that's always Sam Jackson to me. You know what I mean? To me, that's but Sam Jackson's the thespian. He sits with his legs crossed, and you know what I mean? Most of it is just an act from the movies. You know what I mean? It's a getup that he got. You know what I mean? He's really about his craft. But to me, I'm like, nah, he's that motherfucker from Jackie Brown. You know what I mean?
And Sam Jackson had, almost as much input on the character as Quentin did, because
that makes me feel better.
Yeah, because he said the ponytail, the type of outfits that he wore. That was all his swag, and Quentin's talking about it's Sam Jackson, he's got a closet of Kangles, but he just knows that was the style in the 90s. If you were in any type of hood activities, let's just put it that way, Kangle was the thing that you wore. You were Kangle pimping, golf course pimping out there.
Hey, Kangles was hard, bro. You know what I mean?
Kangles, yeah.
That Australian.
Yeah, you got that kangaroo right on that. Well, on the back, but everyone who's really cool wears them backwards.
But you have
it's funny. I like wearing it forwards because I'm contrarian.
I would. There was a couple times that I could wear it forward and get away with it, but it just always seemed like it looked a lot cooler backwards. You see the kangaroo,
right? You know what I used to do when I wore Kangles? I was in junior high and high school.
I can't pull
backwards. I remember in junior high. First of all, you know how you would repeat fits,
yeah,
right? And I would wear this FUBU golf V-neck sweater. You know what I'm talking about? But it's sleeveless. I
have a sweater like that. I can never do it with the with the shirt though. The V-neck shirt.
It was a sweater vest.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So you know what I mean? I have a white tee underneath or something, and it was the small joint. It just said the FUBU. I didn't like the big old blasted ones like that. You know what I mean? I like the loud colors, but you get what I'm saying? And then I had this white Kango I'll always wear with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that was my favorite ass fit because bitches were on me or young ladies at the time.
It was all crazy colors. And for me, it was when I was 17, 18, that was when I started really getting into polo, the Ralph Lauren joints.
Yeah.
And, I was always trying to hit up the outlets and, it's all the off the wall colors that are in there. So I'd be getting all the off the wall colors, getting them from
find a Kango.
Yeah. Find it's crazy because in those outlets you could get the polo joints that for $10, and they're $140 when they're brand new, in the polo store and shit. So it's
and the thing with outlets, it's if you pay $80 for a 3-button polo shirt, you wear it more than 3 years.
Sure.
So when you get it at the outlet, that's why it's out an outlet, because it's 2 years out of style. It's who gives a shit? If I bought it 2 years ago, I'd still own it and be wearing it. So I'll take the discount.
I like your logic. Listen, here's my thing too. It's this is the shopping days now, right? When we was on some D-boy shit shopping.
Francisco, what up?
What up? I might find like one item. Like I remember I had remember the grapes? The purple grapes, the 5s?
Yep.
I remember I had 2 pair of them. One to keep and then one to rock, right? And like or one to rock and then one to stock. Is that how to say it?
Yeah.
Anyways,
I was about to correct you. Good.
Yeah, because I was like, that didn't sound right.
Because I'm the high one.
Yeah. But I didn't have nothing purple, and I swear to God, for like years, all I did was buy purple shit to like to rock with those. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah! Because now
everywhere
you got
I went now, if I saw something
shoes.
purple, I'm like, oh, there it is. I remember I even found a Jordan. It was a tracksuit, and it was purple, white, and gray. And I was like, oh my God! And it was like,
Yeah.
It was brand new shit. I was like, I don't give a fuck how much it is. I gotta have that. Like it was just no one wore purple. You know what I mean? At least not around me. You feel me?
And that's
like,
where that's what's crazy about it. It always starts at the head or the feet. You either have a hat that you got to get the shit to match, or you got shoes and you got to get the rest of the shit to match.
I go hat first. I buy stuff to match my hats.
Yeah, shit's dope.
See that? I ain't gonna lie. In the past like 15 years, I love Vans. So it's like I can match anything. You know what I mean? And Vans are like dummy cheap. Like I buy red pairs of red Vans over and over again. Like it's just like because they get through hella fast. The white Vans.
I remember in high school, Vans were only $30, and you could get like, but you would wear them out. If you actually used them to skate, they lasted like 4 months. But they were so cheap. They were like you could just keep buying new pairs all the time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
After I touched high school, it was like, I mean, I never really rocked Vans. I mean, it was Iversons in like 9th grade and 10th grade, and then 10th grade when I started buying Jordans.
The honeycomb ones, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I had the Shacks in middle school with the big Target, the big like black and white Target.
Man, those were so whack to me, bro.
Oh yeah, they were ridiculous.
Here was the
they were not cool. I was not cool in middle school.
I was like, damn, those are whack, bro.
So here's the bullshit about having the style, though.
It was like right before my skater days, but
I had 2 pairs of those Iversons, you know, the honeycomb ones. One of them was the blue tips, you know, the ones that like everybody had.
Yeah, with the shiny blue.
It wasn't it was like the bright blue, like not light blue, but I'm gonna say
no,
bright
but the material on the blue tip of the foot, it was like shiny kind of, right?
Not
or was
really.
it the suede? Because it was the suede. They came out with these a million times over. So
yeah, it was the suede. Those were the first one. It was like the blue suede, almost kind of Dodger bluish. Something like that. But then the ones that nobody's seen that I had, it was the all black, and then it had the, you know, the tip, like you said, the shiny tip.
Yeah.
And man, the fucking freshman basketball team, like someone saw my shoes and then they made those like their team shoes for the fucking, and so everybody's walking around with them. That shit was whack as fuck.
You're saying it was just the tip?
Just the tip. That was the shiny part.
The shiny tip. Oh. Hey,
check out Spacula here. What up, bro? Said Debo to the Jets, DK to Green Bay, and AJ Brown to the Patriots.
They're not trading AJ Brown.
I agree.
So AJ Brown is going through the same Debo shit right now.
If this is a game show,
they're not going to trade it.
And I have to say the one that's unlikely, it's the Patriots one.
Yeah.
The Patriots got their number 1 guy with Parker, and he's for cheap. You know what I mean?
Patriots are all about getting, you know, they don't like having first-round draft picks. They don't like it. They would rather get rid of them.
It's because they failed in so many first-round wide receivers.
I mean,
but here's the thing, though.
A lot of teams do fail with that first round.
Eagles and Patriots are the worst, though.
If Mike Vrabel agreed to trade away AJ Brown, that means he knows something that we don't know. Like this guy just can never stay healthy. Like, you know what I mean?
Or he's a dick.
No, like the same shit is happening right now with Brown. Like, you don't remember like his teammates or something were talking shit about him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like something only caring about himself because he didn't show up to OTAs.
Yeah,
whatever it was, and he was like, "All right, you guys do you."
It wasn't OTAs. It was the organized. It was volunteer OTAs. You're right. It was OTAs, but this is the volunteer one. This is not
voluntary shit. Like, man, if someone asks you to come in to work on a Saturday as a normal person, you have a 50-50 shot of going. Like, what's the point of actually going if it's voluntary? You know, so I think normal people are.
You know what I would do? this is what I would do. I would massively stunt on motherfuckers. I'd be like, the reports would be like, AJ Brown showed up to organize activities and didn't do anything.
Yeah, just stay there and you're like,
listen, I showed up. I ain't doing nothing.
Dion, what up, bro? Happy 420. What are you smoking on?
What up,
Dion?
You smoking on the
I mean, I kind of agree with you with the. I doubt the Patriots go after him, but if I'm playing devil's advocate, it all depends on how cheap they can get him in the grand scheme of things. Because I mean, he's still on his rookie contract. You know,
I don't see the Titans giving into it.
him.
Honestly, I think the Titans are keeping AJ Brown.
Listen, the Titans, they do dumb shit. You want to know what they do dumb? They already paid a running back. That's the dumbest shit to do these days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is the same word. Who's to say they won't trade away AJ Brown? They've done dumb shit like pay Derrick Henry all crazy. You know what I mean? Because in reality, those guys, I want those guys to get paid, but like Derrick Henry, Joe Mixon, I mean, those are the last guys. Dalvin Cook, those are the last guys, and CMC. Because like you have Todd Gurley and Zeke and all these motherfuckers, they're all done. You know what I mean?
So I got a question for you guys. I know we're really, really high. And everyone watching, feel free to throw it in the comments. But if there's like one thing that you can think of, like one reason why a team will never win the Super Bowl, what do you think that would be?
Jerry Jones for 200, Stu.
Oh no, seriously. Like what do you think would be one thing that could
They
stop
don't know when to move on from older players.
close, or at least what I was thinking. Let's see if anyone puts it in there. What's one thing that'll guarantee that a team never wins a Super Bowl?
The offensive line.
Getting closer.
It's QB.
Antonio said the Jets because we suck for 100, Alex.
Defensive line.
It's QB. Hey, you know why I always say Stu? You know how I always say Stu, right? I'm not saying Stu because D2 Stu, but from In Living Color,
right?
On the Dirty Dozens. Remember his name was Stu Hart or whatever?
Yep.
Or not Stu Hart, Stu, whatever it was. I forget, but he hosted it. He's like, you get the cash if your mama's breath smells like trash. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
okay, well, that explanation makes it better then.
No, I mean, because he said for Alex, Antonio said Jets for 100, Alex. Like,
Alex Trebek.
Yeah, but that's why I always say Stu, because it comes from Dirty Dozens. You know?
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I was thinking. I mean, all of those things are right, depending on how great, they go, how much they really fuck up the team. But not everybody on the team buying in, like not buying into the system.
So can we say maybe culture? Like,
I mean, culture is a good thing. Yeah. But if you don't have all 54 guys buying in to the coach, to the system and all that, it could be one person that you're missing. I mean, it's just not going to happen. All these teams that win, like, it seems like they're like best friends, and shit. There's a whole shit ton of chemistry.
Yeah, that's why the Eagles won, because Carson Wentz, like, bitch ass got out of the way and everyone loved Nick Foles. Like, Nick Foles was like a true leader, even as a backup.
I don't like this. But see, okay, hold on. Carson Wentz was the shit. And
no,
he got y'all all the way to the. He basically put it all in. All y'all was the.
Wasn't it like 13?
He had one like amazing season, but you can't say someone's the shit because he's one season.
About.
But he had an MVP level season.
But that was the year that you
about
won.
that season.
Yeah, I know, but he got hurt.
That's all I'm saying is that y'all, and then
he was important to winning the Super Bowl. I'm not taking his credit away. I'm saying he was a bad locker room presence. He was a bitch ass.
How could he be a bad
but look at this though. Let me finish my point.
An MVP candidate. I don't think so.
Because no one liked him.
Okay, but
they didn't like him.
Once the league was on alert. The league was afraid of Carson Wentz and the Eagles. And then when he goes down, now they're underdogs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And then what did they do? Everybody bought in.
And they rallied around Foles. Because he was a good locker room presence. Culture. I'm agreeing with you. You just don't like Foles.
No. Hold on. Foles prays to white Jesus, okay? White Jesus loves Nick Foles. wherever he goes, he just gets blamed.
No, it's only in Philadelphia. Nick Foles sucks as soon as he leaves Philadelphia. It's like
That
some
is
weird like curse of Philadelphia.
Didn't he get hurt in like the first half of the game? Like the next year after that for Jacksonville?
When he went to the Jaguars, very first game. Yeah.
Insert Minshew the Ginshew.
Mm-hmm. I made the phone call.
See,
and then they traded him to the Bears.
See, hold on.
He got hurt there too.
Was fucked up. He should have lost the QB competition. They let Gardner Minshew start. Then Gardner Minshew fucks it up somewhere along the way, and then he comes in, and then is in.
Well, no, but see, here's what it was though. Hold on, Gardner Minshew tore it up that year. I think he started 12 games, and the only reason they stopped, the only reason they benched him is because Foles was medically cleared to come back. Remember, he broke like a collarbone. It was like a 10-week joint. He comes,
but you don't hear what I'm saying. He flip flopped. The strategy from the previous year.
He should have let Ginsu hit him all the way.
He needs to be the hero, not the original.
Because I don't remember who it was, but whoever fucked up Nick Foles, like, man, that was a textbook tackle if I've ever seen one, because they grabbed both of his arms and put him behind his back, and then they fucked it. He was fucked. Yeah. He was fucked.
Hey, you know what's here's another thing.
Hold on, Mantha Productions 2.0 said happy 420 and said, "What are y'all smoking on?" I'm smoking on some gelato right now.
Yeah, I'm on some birthday cake because today's Weed's birthday.
Yeah. What are you smoking on? But yeah, that's where he fucked up, because if Ginshew was the starter, Ginshew might have been the one to get fucked up right there. And then he would have came in, and then he would have been
because
hero again.
Nick Foles, White Jesus truly loves Nick Foles, because look at this, bro. A motherfucker is behind a legend in the making, Michael Vick, and Michael Vick goes down, and then he takes them to the playoffs with Chip Kelly. You remember that?
Yeah, a legend in the making is a little rough at that age. He was like a former legend in the twilight.
Listen,
at that point.
You know why
in
the making?
How about resurgence?
He was the best comeback story ever, bro. You know what I mean? And then but Nick Foles was like, no, fuck that. He prayed on that shit. He was prayed up that night.
Yeah, that was the 27-2 season.
And then look at this. Guess what he does? He throws 7 tugs in the game against Oakland, bro. In a game against Oakland, he's like, you know what? Might as well tie the record for most TDs passed in a game. You know what I mean?
With no interceptions.
With no interceptions. It's fucking Nick Foles, bro.
He's in the Hall of Fame. They got his cleats. They got his cleats in the Hall of Fame.
Damn it. And that's why he's referred to as Big Dick Nick, right? Just because, like, even if it was just one game that you can look back on. He was
amazing in Philadelphia. He sucked everywhere else. Yeah,
he sucked with the Rams.
He sucked with everyone. He wasn't good anywhere.
Remember Alex Smith?
Yeah, he was Kansas City backup.
Hey, everywhere he goes, he kills. He prays that, please.
But
God,
do you know why? Because Doug Peterson was still in Kansas City.
Yeah,
and Doug Peterson drafted Nick Foles. It was his idea, so he brought him back to the Eagles too. It's just Doug Peterson dragging him around the league.
Was he wrong?
No, he works for Doug Peterson. That's all he works for.
Right though. When it came to Nick Foles, he's the guy who said we need to draft this kid. You know what I mean?
Chip Kelly traded him away, not Peterson.
Yeah, because look at Chip Kelly got there. He was already there. He was a sophomore. You know what I mean?
And then Nate Sudfeld was just like Nick Foles 2.0. It was like he was like identical to him.
Not Nate Sub. Oh, okay. Oh, you're talking about Nate Sub. I thought you were talking
about. Yeah, they tried to like redraft Nick Foles basically, and it just wasn't as good.
Fail.
I thought you were talking about Sam Bradford at first. I was like,
no. That's who they traded for. And Chip Kelly threw in a second rounder to downgrade to Sam Bradford. It was bizarre.
Chip Kelly was a weirdo, man.
He was. He also traded LaShawn McCoy away for Kiko Alonso, and then just flat out cut Deshaun Jackson because he didn't like his attitude.
Yeah, and then he went to Washington and got torn.
He just like gutted the stars of the team for like no reason.
For Kiko Alonso, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Kiko Alonso blew in Philadelphia. He was like,
you know what's funny though?
Yeah, great with Buffalo, bad everywhere else.
But here's what is dope though is that when Peterson came in there, he kept a lot of those Chip Kelly guys, Bill Lazor, you know what I mean? Jim Shorts, like he still kept everyone there, you know what I mean? And he just did it better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really think that's Howie Roseman anyway. Howie Roseman is one of the best GMs.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Really, the worst seasons of the Eagles is when they took his power and gave it to Chip Kelly, and Chip Kelly messed it up fast. There was like he like showed what GMs are paid for. Like he was like he tried to play like Madden with an NFL team, and like was just horrible at the GM part. Like first of all, Murray not understanding that Murray was like done when Frank Gore still had years left in him, and we could have had him for a quarter of the price. Hold
on. And then you know what's funny is Frank Gore is friends with Shady McCoy. You remember their announcement like, oh, Frank Gore is going to the Eagles, and then like he gets off the plane, sees all his text messages, and motherfucking Shady's like, don't go there, bro. You know, and he was like, nah, and then he's like, all right, psych, and he went to the Colts.
He did. Kelly did all sorts of shit where he implemented a curfew. He made them drink like health smoothies.
Hold on. He brought in DeMarco Murray. You guys brought in DeMarco Murray, and check this out. So DeMarco Murray came from almost a 2,000 season. Remember that? It's like 1,800 running behind that Dallas line.
Yeah,
he's a power runner, north south. And then here's Chip Kelly. Now they get their hands on DeMarco Murray, and they try to get him running like stretch runs to the outside.
Because the whole line was built to pull from the center. It's built to pull the center and guards. That's why Jason Kelsey has been around so long, because he's small and fast. He runs in front to block. Mm-hmm. And the guy who they never got rid of, Jason Peters, he would run out. He was an amazing lead blocker.
Yep, Lane Johnson.
But so they weren't able to run straight through. Like they weren't built that way.
Brooks too.
Yeah, Brandon Brooks.
Yep. Brandon Brooks.
It was stupid. It was like everyone got that. It wouldn't work. Like immediately. Like he was the wrong type of running back.
Yeah.
For the system.
All around.
Yeah, it was funny. But that was my whole point of bringing it up.
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny because tonight on the Playmakers, we're talking about like the highest that we are on players, and like now it's funny. I'm almost going to the lowest, like the teams that like fucked up, you know, by like putting the wrong guys in the wrong system. Like one of the guys who stands out to me is Toby Gearhart when he like killed it on the Jaguars, and then like Minnesota picks him up, and he was like just flop, huge ass flop.
The one that I will never forgive is Nnamdi Asomugha. Like I am still upset about that.
The cornerback?
Yeah. He was good in the Raiders because like no one threw to him. And then like he went to the Eagles. He was horrible. And we got rid of like Asante Samuel to get Nnamdi Asomugha. He got paid a fortune and he was horrible. Horrible.
I mean, you know what though? You guys have bad luck with corners, man. Like
we didn't used to until Nnamdi. He was like the curve.
But like
it was good before that. We had Eric Allen. We had we had some really good corners.
Look at this. Harry Roseman at one point he's like, man, fuck that. I'm trading for Darius Slay.
They also traded Jordan Matthews for Ronald Darby. That was a good trade.
Yeah, Ronald Darby was I mean,
for Jordan Matthews, fuck.
Damn it, David.
And then we got Jordan Matthews back another 7 times. So
nice pick, crispy one. Picking Antoine Winfield, 15th round.
Vinny Curry.
Am I on the clock now?
The 40-year-old?
Damn, bro.
What he said. The Flash. No, Song's on the clock right now. You're next.
Good luck with that.
It made me hella irritated as fuck because, god damn it, I kept letting Winfield, and I hate it when they're sitting at the top of a list.
Yeah,
because I'm like, damn, someone's gonna look at them. You know what I mean? And it always gets right to me. But
there's still a bunch of players out there that are still.
Winfield's
nice.
Yeah, and I don't mind that I have Devin White. You know what I mean? Like I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yeah, for IDP, that shit doesn't matter.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, actually, you know what? And what do you think about that? So for IDP, I don't think it matters having two players like on the same team. But what do you think about that? Like having like a wide receiver, you know, on the same team as a running back, or a QB and a running back, you know, to where they don't really benefit, you know, each other by having them on the team.
I don't mind. Like, well, see, if I have a running back that catches the ball 9 times out of 10, like a running back, like let's say CMC, I'm never rushing to get like a Sam Darnold CMC stack. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just rather have CMC, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's because most of those run, and then in this case, like if you have, say you have a Kyler Murray and a Connor, it's hella frustrating if he's not going to throw the ball to hit Connor, he's just pounding it in. I kind of, in some instances, would rather just have Connor. You know what I mean?
It depends how good the offense is, because if you hedge your bets and you have the person who scores the running and passing touchdowns, you're going to get it somehow. But there's only a few offenses you can do that with.
But and here's another thing. I love, you know me, I'm a stickler for the stack. I'll even do a triple stack with the QB. Like I'll do in
with wide receivers though.
Yeah. Like I'll do or say you have Kelsey, like a Kelsey, Mahomes, and then Juju stack. You know what I mean? Or Stafford, Cup, Allen Robinson. Like that's gonna be nasty. Or Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Higgins. If you can make that happen, that's nasty. Like last year, I had a Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, just tandem. I didn't have Justin Herbert, but I had that tandem in the several leagues.
See, the problem with that is the weeks that their offense don't produce, you lose.
Here's the thing.
Sure, you lose that week.
I didn't draft any Keenan Allen last year, but I drafted a ton of Mike Williams because he was the value. And then when people were disgruntled with Keenan Allen, they had a week 6 bye week. I traded for Keenan Allen going into that bye week everywhere. And I ended up with him. And I played both him and Mike Williams every week. Just and it didn't work all the time, but like I was comfortable.
Right, that's the problem. It doesn't work all the time.
Well the thing for me that I don't like is you're almost like you force yourself to make that play. Like
but here's let me finish my point. I was willing to do that because the pass attempts were there. And guess who led the league in pass attempts? It was Justin Herbert. So it's like there's gonna be times where both guys eat. In the championship, and I don't want to flex, but in that one that I had against you, I had a Keenan Allen and Mike Williams stack. And Mike Williams had the 2 tugs and Keenan Allen had the 1. And it was like, wow, it worked out phenomenally that time. But it was just because it was a throwing ass offense. You know what I mean? The Rams, they're a throwing ass offense.
Let's smoke it up, Hess.
Yeah, shout out to
Hess.
Hess.
And I'm not even saying, I mean, everyone.
What you don't want to have is a running back and a wide receiver from the same team. That's what you don't want to have. You don't want a star running back and a star wide receiver on the same team. You don't want.
If you had Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen, I don't think you're like hating it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I remember 2018. I had.
You shouldn't though.
Oh yeah, 2018, the first Mahomes year. I had Kareem Hunt and Tyreek Hill. I felt really good about that.
Yeah, see, it's not. I mean, if you put anything like in a vacuum, you know, like anything could sound bad, but I mean, you got to hit. You still got to hit on the picks, and that's what's dope about fantasy football. Like we can all have different strategies and still win. Because I don't like forcing the stats in redraft leagues and dynasty leagues. I mean, I guess
okay, but
on where
just
people fall.
For the record, though, a wide receiver and a running back on the same team is not a stack because they don't interact with each other.
Listen,
stack is getting points from 2 people. So a quarterback and a wide receiver, or a catching running back.
It is a stack. It's a team stack.
Because you get the points twice. That's what you're stacking. You see what I'm saying?
It's a team.
Yeah,
stack.
but you don't get the points twice. Like that's something else that everybody like that they still have the misconception.
Right, I know.
It's just both your guys work simultaneously. That's all that is.
Yeah.
And yes, it is a stack. It's a team stack.
I mean, and that's the context that we're talking about here. Stacking players from the same team. Like that.
Yeah.
That's just what I said. That's literally what I asked.
Well, because like team stacks is an actual thing. And when you're talking DFS world, they'll talk about team stacks, game stacks. You know what I mean? Like,
right. But the idea of a stack is if you were going to pay up for a quarterback in DFS, then that quarterback has to succeed for you to win, right? So you might as well get his wide receivers because if he's going to do well, they will do well too.
No, I disagree.
What? That is the idea of it. I didn't come up with that.
See, because now you got to get into the context. When you're talking DFS, the different things are priced different. So you're looking for the values. I might go for the stack if that's the value. Like say, back
because my original question is, what do you guys think about a stack? Stacking a QB and a wide receiver versus like stacking like a running back and a wide receiver. You guys with any of those at all? Is literally what I asked.
No, I like wide receiver, quarterback. I don't like running back, wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like quarterback receiver stacks, or I really like quarterback. If you have Mahomes, stacking Mahomes with Kelsey somehow is just the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's just like the shit right there. That's like my favorite. If Cooper Kupp's going to be expensive in redraft this year, but if you get Cooper Kupp, you know who's not going to be expensive is Matt Stafford. You know what I mean? While everyone's going in for this like single QB talk. You know what I mean? Because obviously everyone knows what value is in Superflex for QBs, but in single QB leagues, motherfuckers still go up for quarterbacks early. So it's like I'll just wait and I'm gonna go in for the skill position guys that massively drop off to another tier. I'm gonna get those guys early. You know what I mean?
And Mark 91 said, "Y'all ever tried live resin? Hell yeah, bro!
Hell yeah.
That's the only way to go." He said, "I finally tried it up here in Montana, and holy shit, nice! Got live resin in Montana now. I like it."
You could buy devices. They're not cheap either. But you could buy devices and you could press your flour. You know what I mean? And the live resin comes right out the side.
Those things aren't expensive. Like you could get them for like $150 on Amazon now.
What is it that you guys call crumble?
For normal people, let's just put it that way. Normal people, normal amounts.
What is it that you guys call crumble?
What's up?
What do you call crumble?
Crumble.
I call it crumble.
I love that shit. That's my jam.
You talking about wax?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I call it crumble. When I say that, sometimes people don't understand what I mean. But like where you get like the THC chunks and you stick it on and then makes your bowl last like forever.
Mm-hmm. See, it's tough. It's tough
because you could
there's so
dab
many
too.
different kinds.
Yeah.
And like some people may call it all dab. Some people may call it all wax. Like every single type of consistency.
Yeah.
I call it the actual consistency because that's what it is. So
that's
to me,
the peanut butter.
Yeah, crumble is just crumble or the honeycomb,
Love that stuff.
Because see, that was the type of shit you can handle with your hands too, and your hands won't get all fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could literally grab a little piece, drop it right in the bucket.
Because until it melted, and then it was like stuck on like forever. That it created that like cast that made your bowl last. Like, I love that.
Hey, you put it on a bowl, or you would hit straight dabs with it, like with a bucket.
No, I would put it on my weed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit, and it would make your bowl last forever because you would like smoke around it, but hit it at the same time, and it would absorb the fire.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was that man fucking back in the days when we started fucking with it. Like, so that's a cold water method. You know what I'm saying? Cold water. And that's like the cleanest way when you get it, the peanut butter. That's what I call it. You know what I mean? The shit that we're talking about right now. You know what I mean? And like back, this is like 2000. I want to say 11, 12 type era, right? And like we had these pens, but you had to load them yourself. You know what I mean? And so like
that sucked.
I hated that shit. Like,
oh my god, it was horrible.
But see, with the peanut butter, it was cool. I just, you know what I mean? Load it up. We're good to go.
I didn't know you could do that.
Like I want to tell you about horrible. When it comes to these dabs, you got to go back to 2005, 2006, when it was just all the goo. And like their method was literally just like spraying a bunch of weed with a bunch of butane. And there's just like this little tool that fucking helped you do it. And man, that shit was fucking gross. And but it was like so like innovative, like at the time that you wanted to like put that on your bowl. That shit was like straight black. And none of the butane was extracted. This fucking gross.
Yeah, I mean, butane will get you a little messed up too. If you like keep hitting a lighter into a bowl.
See, but here's where the innovations came from because like
why use this thing?
It went from motherfuckers, and it was little tubes, bro. You put the trim in the tree in there, and you blast that shit, and motherfuckers is blowing arms off and all kind of motherfucking losing half their face, look like the Terminator type of shit, burning houses down.
Because you're used to hearing meth labs blow up, but then you start hearing like weed labs blow up. You're like, what the fuck?
But see, here's the thing. like then the innovations of it though, it turned into like, because they would pour it out. You have to pour down the motherfucking like a casserole looking motherfucker, right? And then they let all the bubbles rise, and that's all the butane. But see, that wasn't enough. Then they started making these machines where, you know what I'm saying, you put that motherfucker into a vacuum, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it was a purger. You know what I'm saying? And then you would see the shit go from dark to hella light, bro. You know what I mean? And it might take like several hours during it. I'm pretty sure. See, but then that shit. That's why I stuck with the cold water shit, because I was like, man, that shit is gross. Like literally, if you were trying to distribute or sell shit like that, you know what I mean? You would have to get it tested by the labs these days. That shit's not getting cleared. You know what I mean? But then motherfuckers got so good at purging all the shit, and their shit would just be like super white, like the 99 shit or whatever. Like still, motherfuckers found a way, but it was just like now that butane method's just totally out the door. You know what I mean?
Obsolete. If you're still doing it that way, like. I'm surprised you're still in business. And Mark 91 said my buddy went to school with the guy that lit his house on fire for making wax. Yeah, man, the shit that we were talking about. Like, if people don't know what they're doing, and I mean, your shit's not ventilated. You know, you're just like doing it in your kitchen or some dumb shit with no windows open. You know, that's what people were doing though. You had to learn the hard way.
Motherfucker hit that. A motherfucker cut that fucking stove on it and fucking boom.
It was like, well, I mean, if we can go back to like a funny time when we seen that happen, if you go to Cheech and Chong, next movie,
when they stealing the gas.
Yeah, siphoning the gas and shit, and just put it in a dirty ass trash can, and then they literally just pour it in.
They're pouring the gas into the trunk just so they can dip, right?
Yeah, because
he said, I don't think you should light that, man. Oh no! It was Chong who told him, right?
No, Cheech told him, and
Cheech
Chong is lighting it up.
And he's like, "No, we're good."
The only thing I used to do was we would put vodka in the bottom of bowls sometimes, and that really messes you up. But
in a bottle of what?
In the bottom of a bong.
I never did.
I never did that. I don't like ruining the integrity of weed as much as possible. Just
it's like it's not a. It's like a.
Hey, you're one of those dudes. You're one of those dudes that would drink the bong water after all. If it's vodka, it's like vodka.
I'm not one of those dudes, no. But I might make tea with the stems.
Yeah, there we go. And Hess said, "I'm about to smoke a custom rolled 1 gram filled 1 gram joint filled with grapes of wrath from Wonder Bread. I like it." And they got a dab bar too. Just hit the limoncello. Man, I want dab bars to come back because like
is Hess coming on?
I don't know, Hess. If you got time, I'll shoot you the link. You can come on and smoke it up, chat it up. And one of my homies like had one like back in like what was it 2009 or 2010? I can't remember what year. And it was dope because he ended up just everybody came to him. It's when Weed Maps started blowing up and stuff, and it was funny. People would just bring him a bunch of shit, and then they ended up getting a whole bunch of different dabs to him, and that was kind of fun. It was like a bar, but it was dabs that were flowing instead of drinks. It was fun.
Oh, when you linked up with Hess?
No. This is way back in the day.
Oh, yeah, I do miss hash bars though, like the dab bars, I should say.
Yeah, so there was one in there was this one legendary one. I know Hess knows about it. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it was on Venice Beach, and it was like literally like right in front of Muscle Beach, you know, where all the jacked motherfuckers are going, Venice Beach, and you know, it's just nothing but hard bodies out there from both sexes, and it's just it's crazy. It's a notorious spot right on Venice Beach, and like
they doesn't have any jack people.
They had all right, Hess, I'm gonna shoot you the link. And and so they had a doctor like right there, you know, on site. That the doctor's right there, and super easy to get your card. And then you go upstairs and you have it's you know the side to buy all the flour is like right when you walk in, and then you go to the left and there's this whole huge ass bar. It was a hash bar is what they called it back then. And man, it was just great view of the beach. It was full. there was there. I don't know what this person was that we were in there, but she had some driver and she was like buying hash bowls for her driver, and I was like, that doesn't seem like the smartest thing, but you know, guys all dressed up like he's like in Reservoir Dogs, like he was wearing like the exact same suit as all the motherfuckers in Reservoir Dogs, so it's super weird. And me and my friend were taking these fat ass rips, like we were trying to clear the entire bowl, you know, and they were like real fat ones that we were taking, and we were coughing, and like I can't remember what she like said, but it was almost like, oh, I remember my first beer, you know, or like some shit like that. And we were like, oh, what are you talking about? We see you over there. It takes you like 10 hits to like clear your bowl. And and she was like, oh, well, let's go then. And she was like, all right, get another round for these guys, and let's see who can do it or whatever. And it was just funny. Like, I don't know who the hell this crazy bitch was, but it was just hilarious.
Nice. But she got around. she was probably all pumped up on testosterone.
Yeah.
I'm over here going through the kids' Easter candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, babe. I was like, I don't want to give my kid candy, but they know.
Well, I get the stuff that they don't like anyway. Motherfucker.
Oh, let's see. And Silly White Boy, you asked this earlier. Thoughts on Keanu O'Neal to Tampa this year for IDP? I don't like it, and unless they play him at linebacker, kind of how he was being used a little bit last year. And as of right now, they got him as a backup safety. So I don't know if he's going to get mixed in at linebacker or not. Like, that's what's going to make it or break it for me with him. So I
Why
think
is he the backup safety? Who do they have in front of him?
They have Antoine Winfield, and they have Jordan Whitehead.
Yeah, and he plays the same position as Antoine Winfield does, the box safety, the strong safety.
Yeah,
and
right.
Antoine Winfield is just
they probably want to use him as like a slot, like alternative third safety.
It could be that, or last year, I mean, the Cowboys,
or like linebacker. Yeah,
the Cowboys had him on. I mean, listed as a safety initially, and
it
then
implies they're going to play some cover 3.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna be putting him at a little bit of both, and so who knows if he's going to be that hybrid player.
And they probably
not.
need to because their corners aren't that good.
Yeah, they're all right. Oh shit! Song said Bogart's on the clock. Ooh,
yeah, I know.
Song took Kenny Moore with the pick. I like it.
I'm not mad at it. It's
crazy that Patrick Surtain went before Winfield and Kenny Moore, because I like Surtain, but him playing the cornerback spot versus the safety spot.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I learned this a long time ago. Like, I mean, what did J.C. Jackson, right? J.C. Jackson's hella consistent. He's been averaging about like 8 picks, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How many points is a pick?
6.
6 points. So we're gonna need hella tackles out of him too, right?
Yeah.
And if he doesn't have it in his repertoire, I just stay away from that. Then when you're a big dog with a reputation, like for years, like Richard Sherman, right? Ain't nobody throwing him the ball his way. Then you get Jalen Ramsey. At least Jalen Ramsey will get grimy and tackle somebody, and at least like a lot of people don't just stay away from him fully, right?
Yeah. You got to have the tackles to go with the big plays. And really, that's like the big thing. And if you don't play on sleeper, you can't mix in the QB hits. And I know that's not really like affected for like a cornerback, too much, more for the D linemen where they can rack up. Because I mean, if you get a QB hit, that means you're rushing the play. You're doing something. You can't even put that in as a stat on any of these platforms other than sleeper. Kind of bullshit.
That's why I'm upset that Antoine Winfield almost got to me. You know what I mean?
Yep. Because that would have been nice right there. And
I don't have any. I haven't cracked off any DBs yet.
So neither have I. I have 0 defensive linemen right now, and I got 0 DBs.
I was trying to trade in to get Buda Baker so bad, and I was like, because I started looking, I'm like, why is he still out there? And I started seeing like who's coming up that's not going to pass on him, right? Yeah. Like like if you or who else probably wouldn't pass on him. I think mainly just used the one I was trying to jump in front of. When did Buda Baker go?
He went in the 11th. So I mean, you would have had 2 shots to get him before me.
Yeah,
it was crispy. David P. Man, he's
So it was right. It was right before it came back to me. Oh no, did I pass it? Which way was it going? 11.
Yeah, it was going. It was going your way.
Going right. So he almost made it to me again, See, that's what fucked me up. Then I just threw it in the back burner. Like, all right, I'll wait. Then someone took Jesse Bates. I was like, and I was like, I can't. I'm like, okay, Winfield's.
You guys have got to stop revealing your strategies in the middle of a draft. It is bizarre. You need to stop doing
What are
it.
you talking about?
This is, I mean, everyone already knows. Everyone knows my strategy pretty much. My strategy is to stay fluid, is to stay like water, you know. But I mean, I can't hide the players that I like. I mean, we're doing this, you know, to provide content for people who may not know the IDP world. So I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is. Because
right, IDP does suck.
You wish, Ron.
Hey, you know what's funny is I am one of those guys now where it's like the people that try to talk shit about IDP, they're really just like they just have never played it, or when they did, they didn't get it.
You played with a whack ass commissioner, like that's what it was.
Now, because that's like the only way they play,
especially for Dynasty. I mean, it's crazy how many Dynasty leagues I get invited to that are offense only, and like, man, those shits are so boring. That's why they don't last more than 2 years, because they're so fucking boring. They're so plain Jane, and the same teams are always going to win. With IDP, that shit is not the case. Like, it really does level the playing field. The same team is not going to win every year because they have Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or whoever the top QBs are. It's not going to happen. Not just because you have Jonathan Taylor, you're not going to win that championship.
Bogey, are you eating potato chips?
No, I'm eating hella candy. Like now I'm going to Sour Patch Kids right now.
Do you realize you're doing it into your microphone?
See, and then you called him out, and then right in the Matrix. Mr. Grapefruit, what up, bro?
Happy holidays. That was the powers of the internet being like, stop that.
He said, "Happy holidays, fellas. Looking sharp. Hope you all have a Cheetos and Mountain Dew."
Did you see Hess said send the link?
I already did. Yep. He said he was a few minutes away from the spot. There we go. So he's hopping on in a couple minutes. All right.
No, I was talking about songs. That's what I was talking about when I said. But you guys, dude, I'm just saying, actively in the middle of the draft, you shouldn't be about talking who you might get later in said draft.
I didn't say who I was going to get later. I mean, we've only talked about players that have been drafted.
You're still not.
Who do we say that we were going to get later?
No, I'm talking about songs comment. I'm talking about songs comment. You didn't put it up.
Oh, that he has no DLs. I mean, everybody knows who everybody needs. If you don't have I go through every single team at least once a day to see who doesn't have what position that's drafting around me. So, yeah, we all need DLs. We all need DBs. We all need linebackers, just like we all need more running backs and wide receivers. So that's what's cool about this is like we have, let me see, how many different positions to actually choose from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different positions that we're choosing from, because I'm not including the flexes, because way better than fucking just your random ass offense only leagues. Like, yeah, after the first couple rounds, is someone going to pick a running back or a wide receiver? It's like literally one or the other. Maybe you'll sprinkle
how many all offensive leagues did you play in and love it before you discovered IDP?
0, because the very first league that I played in was Superflex with IDP.
Really?
I just thought it was the way that everybody
15
played.
years ago?
Yeah. I just thought it was the way that everybody played. So like then as like social media starts getting bigger, I'm like, what? You guys play with offense only? Like, why do you play with
like when baseball? I hate playing with individual pitchers instead of pitching staffs. It's just like so annoying.
Oh my gosh. You just told me a lot about you, Ron, right there. Oh my gosh. A pitching staff versus single pitcher?
Oh, it's great.
What?
It's great. I don't feel like dealing with all the relief pitches and crap.
I mean, see, like that's why you need like a guy like you. I feel like you should get in like a team offense league, mix it with the team defense league, you know, because you could do that. You can have team offense. What up, Hess?
What up?
Going on, bro? And Song said, Ron, are you in any of the leagues that I'm in? No, he is not in any of these dynasty leagues because as of right now, he says he hates IDP. But
Yo,
we're gonna get him into
what
something.
up? What up?
Yeah, that's a fatty.
420 pound.
You know what might be good? Maybe I'll take over like an orphan when you kick someone out or something, and then so I don't have to draft, and I'll just figure it out while I play.
You know what? It's funny because there's one guy in one league that hasn't been responding to me or his friend who got him in there. So I do have an orphan team that's available. So you ask and you shall receive. I'll take some.
That might be the best way to go to get me in one.
Get it louder.
Yeah, where you at, Hess? Where you at over there?
That's a big old joint.
That's a fatty. Probably need some headphones. You probably can't hear us too well. Can you hear me, Hess? Nope.
Okay. That's cool. He looks cool. He's taking over the hat game.
Yeah. He's always rocking some dope hats. Hell yeah. Yeah, next week for the draft, I'm gonna have like I got my headphones that I'm gonna have to take because I'm not gonna be able to hear shit or like anything if I don't have them.
Oh, hold on.
What up, Bogey?
What up?
Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays. I'm over here enjoying some holiday candy. You know what I'm saying? Hold
yeah,
on.
but you are going to get into an IDP league for sure, where you're going to be drafting IDP players. So this huge best ball tournament that I started last year. Last year was the very first season of it. Going to be doing it again this year. There was 120 teams in it last year. It's huge. It's going to get even bigger this year. This year I'm sprinkling in IDP, where you where we have 3 IDP flex starters.
Do you guys get in the Scott Fish Bowl?
I was in it last year, yeah.
How many people are in that thing?
There was like 2,000 in it. And I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty boring.
I could imagine. I mean, that seems like it's hard. Like, okay, so you're 130. You're doing awesome, but like, who cares?
Yeah. And so, yeah, really what it is you have your individual divisions, and then you have your conferences within those divisions.
Now, why are you telling Ron? Ron's afraid of everything.
No, he's not afraid of anything. I'm just setting my ways. I'm not afraid of anything.
All right, so Bogard, did you hear it? Ron said he's going to take over an orphan team that has IDP. And I actually have an orphan team right now. And I have.
Are they good? Or you gonna give me a shitty team?
Well, I mean, it's not the best, but I mean, it's definitely not the worst.
All right,
I'm gonna go see if I can get me some headphones that work.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I knew you couldn't hear it. It's probably too loud being outside. But yeah, so I was saying, Bogey, when I go to the draft, I got my headphones on that I'll be able to use, so I'll be able to hear. Because yeah, boots on the ground is going to be really dope.
You have to have the headphones to cut out the sound. That
yeah, the Beats by Dre. I got them. The noise canceling headphones. Yep. And Song said, hell yeah, live drafts are fun as hell. And you know what, man? In August, we are going to have at least one live draft in Vegas. I don't know exactly what we're going to be doing. I don't know where it's going to be, but we're going to have at least one live draft in Vegas this August. I'm excited. And we got
be able to make that trip.
Oh yeah, that should be real close for you. Just a super short what's it called, flight away.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly why. I'll get a room. You know what I mean? I got rooms, no problem. And like I can bring my lady. So then, and then in the meantime, I'll tell my brother-in-law too, because as long as my girl's sister or somebody else is going, then they can do whatever the fuck they're gonna do, and we just go do Vegas things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fantasy
football Vegas things.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a convention coming up pretty soon here also. Is it June? There's a convention in June in Vegas, and then they got the expo in August.
I want to say shout out to the homie 7 o'clock, man. He's involved in that one in June, I think.
Well, you should link me and him.
I'm finna. He's out here in Sac. Well, not here in Sac, but he's out there in Sac. And when I was out there Saturday, we were all trying to figure it out because I was gonna go to Guccini's lab. You know what I'm saying? But like immediately after I handled business out there, I just started getting tired. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Peace out, Song.
Peace out.
Yeah, he got just in time to get his pick in before he had to get back to work too.
Who did he grab?
Kenny Moore.
That's right.
And Kenny Moore killed it, like, because cornerbacks, I mean, they don't really get over 100 tackles, like, in a season. Like, usually not. And he topped that.
Eberflus was creative. Matt Eberflus?
Uh-huh.
He was creative.
Yeah, and I mean, all that, all the pressure that they had up front, you know, Buckner and Leonard and Okereke and the safeties are fire too. Like, I mean, you can't avoid everyone.
Who do they got? They got Justin Blackman. Oh no, my bad. That was a wrestler.
I think Justin Blackman's a DB.
Oh, that was the name.
Almost every wrestler played football in high school.
No, but you remember the wrestler I'm talking about? The guy who had the Kimbo sticks?
Oh, that's Steve. That's Steve Blackman.
Yeah. So I was right. It was Justin Blackman.
Oh yeah, and they signed Rodney McLeod. I mean, that was good. Oh, Julian Blackman. That's what it is.
You keep bringing up Rodney McLeod like that's like a real great sign.
I mean, they just need someone solid there who can be the last line of defense, like a tackle guy. Like they don't really need that position to do much. That was one of their weak spots. So that's all I'm saying is he's an upgrade from whatever they had last year.
Yeah, he has a good eye for the ball, but like he gets beat constantly.
We shall see.
I fuck with Honey Badger, man. He ain't even found nowhere yet, huh?
No.
He's trying to get the most money he can. He knows this is his last contract.
Yeah. I mean, what is he, 30, 31, 32, something like that?
No, not even, man.
What?
He's like 29. Look this up.
Right, but he'll want a 6-year contract or something. But then no one finishes their contract. So.
Let's see.
Or 5 at least he'll want.
He's turned 30 this year.
Okay, so he's 29. Okay.
Yeah, he's 29.
Now you're eating the candy in front of the kid. That's just mean.
Silly white boy, check out my pending trade in our league and let me know how bad it is when you get a minute. All right, I got you. And then I'm getting you the extra entry into the Buda Baker signed jersey giveaway.
I want to see this trade they made.
All right, so this was and Devin's in the first Dynasty League that I ever created. So this is going back to 2019, and the 10-team league. All right, let's see here. It's one of those trades that I would never really make. All right, okay, so. Silly white boy receives Deshaun Watson, Robbie Anderson, a 2022 third, and a 2023 third. Now the other team receives AJ Dillon, a 2022 second, 206, a 2022 fourth, 2023 first and second and fourth.
Wow.
Oh, dang. And I didn't even see this one. And a 2022 first, the 101.
No.
Here's the thing. I was going to say he wins this just getting the QB. But
get 101.
Yeah, you didn't have to give him 101. Let alone on top of that, 2023, everyone says it's like the baddest motherfucking class ever. You know what I mean?
Yep. I think it's a lot to get Watson, but If you don't have 2 QBs in this league, you cannot compete.
How many what does he have as QB?
Let me see.
I mean, the 101 is a pretty valuable pick.
He's got Derek Carr and Sam Darnold.
Okay, so he needs to do that.
Yeah. All right, fine. Why are you taking like Robbie Anderson?
Robbie Anderson's good.
No, he's not.
He wasn't good last year, that's for sure.
See, here's the thing.
He had a good season.
He had several good seasons, first of all.
He was always like the X-Deeps threat, and yeah, he had
He
games.
never had a good QB throwing him the ball.
Is he? Yeah.
He's a good player. That's all I said. And you're like, no, he's not.
I mean, he dropped a lot of balls this year. Like a lot of balls.
You be speaking like you're the all-knowing, almighty and shit, and you're lucky I never shut you down several times already. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, okay. No, he's not. Okay. You're right.
He had
based on what? Based on what?
He
kept dropping shit last year.
Right?
He got like 13 targets a game and averaged like 25 yards.
You represent the entirety of what you're the epitome of recency bias.
What?
Yeah.
Dude.
Like I bet you will chase last year's number ones all day. You would. I'm speaking with certainty.
Antonio said, I feel bad for Anderson, leaves New York to get away from Darnold, and then follows him to Carolina.
Exactly.
I mean, he only had little spurts, and I swear like most of them was with Luke McCown when he was over there too.
Josh
McCown. Josh McCown, there you go.
Yeah,
Luke
and
McCown's
then
older brother.
But see, hold on, he did it with he did it. You can go back to 2016 when he was a rookie, he was flashing all over the place. You know what I mean? In the fantasy playoffs that year, he went crazy for people.
Yeah.
I remember it was a Saturday night game against the Dolphins, bro. And he had Bryce Petty or one of them motherfuckers, Christian Ponder. It was one of them sorry ass motherfuckers throwing him the ball, bro. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, Robbie Anderson, all I'm saying is he had it bad. You know what I mean? If Watson was there, remember that Watson was one of those, like, was one of the rumors he was going to get traded there? You know how people would be going crazy over Robbie Anderson right now? You probably would.
And Anthony said, what up, Stoneville, USA? And then he says, Debo, no. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. Yeah, we got to see what happens.
He's taking his ball and he's going home.
It's a big standstill, man. Screw you guys, I'm going home. That's what Debo
But see, here's the thing, though. This is how they all conduct themselves now. This is like normal now. First off, phase one, remove all existing pictures of team that you're currently on. Phase two, this could even be what their agents are advising them to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's time to get paid. You're right. It's time to get paid. You're fucking Debo, man. You are this entire offense. You're fucking right. You know what? You're a wide receiver and you're running back. You're a wide back. You're fucking right. You know what I mean?
What was the constant between what Spacula, those wide receivers that he said earlier, Debo, AJ Brown, DK? You know,
they're all from the same class.
And they're all 1 year. They're all on their their last year.
They were all drafted in 2019. You know what I mean?
Which is when you're supposed to extend people. Like, they're not asking for it at an odd time.
But here's where it becomes a problem, though, bruh. Is the salary cap went up, and then and it was all started with DeAndre Hopkins, because before the salary cap went up, he was the one guy that was getting paid like $8 million more than everyone else for some reason. It was because Arizona decided to extend him and front load his shit. So his average for the first 2 years in Arizona was $27 million. While the next guy was like Michael Thomas getting like 21. You know what I mean?
20.
I'm just saying, though, then the salary cap goes up and everybody's like, yep, it's time to reset the market. And now this entire class, those three names that you just read, those three motherfuckers are like, yep, I'm trying to get that. They're trying to get into, like, you know, the 4th, 5th, 6th highest paid range. You know what I mean? They're not trying to reset the market, but because it's already reset. They're trying to get up there into like that 4th, 5th, 6th highest paid of that position. You know what I mean?
So here's what the NFL needs to turn into. It needs to turn into like soccer. And a lot of soccer teams are owned by, like, I mean, at least they were back in the day, owned by a lot of these drug kingpins. And they were just throwing all their money. at these players, trying to get the best players that they can. All these billionaires, I mean, you got the money, 16 billion. I mean, shit, it was $16 billion industry like years and years ago. It's probably getting closer to 20 billion a year now.
Hey, but this is what they did. It's fucking Jerry Jones, bro. Jerry Jones, they were like, nope, we got to put a cap on this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
No, Jerry Jones was one of the people who wanted the cap to happen because
For
he
real?
knew. Because his money wasn't that deep back then. That was before he had the Buku Jerry world. I mean,
I didn't even know that.
He's a millionaire.
Hey, still, fuck him.
He's a millionaire upon millionaire, probably a billionaire, even when close to billionaire when he bought the Cowboys. But Cowboys is what turned him into a billionaire Jerry. Yeah, he bought the team for what, like 50 something mil or some shit like that.
If you think about it, there wasn't really big money in football yet outside of the television contracts, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 140 mil. That's what he paid for the Cowboys in 1989.
He's sitting on 140 M's. That's probably like sitting on like $500 million.
Look at what
nowadays.
Jeffrey Lurie paid for the Eagles and what it's worth now.
What'd you say? What was the owner?
What Jeffrey Lurie paid for the Eagles. He got a deal and a half on the Eagles and then turned it into like a mega franchise.
I don't know, $7.
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
I'm gonna say 200 million.
Spelled his last
No.
name.
Hold on. I'm gonna say 60 million.
Well, I mean, when did he buy it?
Yeah, because if he bought it,
it was a while ago. 2000. No, even before that, 90.
When you said a while ago, I think you were gonna say like 60s and shit.
No. Well, no.
I'm gonna say
90s. 90s.
I'm gonna say 200 million.
Where the hell?
It's worth like at least 5 times what he bought it
for. Jerry Jones, it came up like just like right off the bat, like it was the first thing that popped up. I didn't even have to click on anything. For this, it's making me click and shit.
Jeffrey Lurie's not like a news. No one gives a shit about him. He's never in the news for anything.
No one gives a fuck about him, for real.
It's true.
I didn't even know who he was till you said the name a couple times. I was like, oh, that's the owner.
Yeah. I have no idea.
It's okay. I know, like, the Eagles weren't worth a lot, and then now they're, like, always, like, top 3 in, like, the value tree. And, like, Lurie did it all, because he's the one. He, like, handpicked Andy Reid and stuff.
Yeah. Anthony said, I think Debo is going to Tampa. I don't think so. I don't know if
I don't think so either.
They don't have the money to pay him.
Nope.
He's not going to Tampa.
And Tino said, "Stay out of the NFC, Debo."
But see, that's the ideology.
I can see Patriots trying to get Debo. I just don't know if they will. But
no, they're not going to pay Debo.
Yeah, that's the thing. They don't like to pay anyone.
Look, it sucks, but if there's a team, because I'm saying if, because here's the thing, man. They wanted to pay him,
right?
But they don't want to give him what he wants. And then he refuses to sit down and negotiate.
And they shouldn't, because he's injury prone and they have other wide receivers behind him. They should give him his value.
Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. It ain't like it's a secret. That's why he's trying to get paid.
Yeah, there you go, Anthony. I heard Texans also interested, and it's because who the fuck are the Texans paying? They got Brandon Cook's contract. They got no other contract. So yeah, they for sure got the money to pay someone.
And those are the teams that have to buy players by overpaying them.
Because nobody's gonna want to fucking go there. And Texans, think about this. All right, New York. I mean, next to California, probably one of the highest tax like states, out there.
Texas got none.
Texas, 0 state income tax. That's a lot of extra bread you're going to be able to keep.
Florida doesn't either.
Right. Those are the two. And then at least the two that I know of offhand. Tino said 49er wide receiver after Debo is Step.
Bogey, you're going to get diabetes. Stop eating candy.
Hey, yo, hold on. Now he's wishing diabetes on me. Hey, listen, man.
No, I'm warning you. I'm protecting you. You gotta stop eating the candy.
Hold on. Hey, I want you to realize this. You're the mom of the show. Every time he's on,
Okay.
He's the mom, bro. I just figured that out. I'm like, hold on, mom.
I like that. You know, so Nevada has no state income tax. I like that. Just moved to Vegas. About to save more of my money. I like it.
Give me all of it.
Yeah. Anthony said no QB. No QB in either team. The Jets or the Texans. I beg to differ. I mean, Bogey, what do you think about Judge Davis Mills Lane? What would he do if he had Debo and Brandon Cooks over there?
It's totally different systems.
Yeah.
That's why I say the Jets, is because he'll be able to walk in day one. Who's to say Hamilton over there is going to be like, we won't use him out of the backfield all that crazy. Maybe like once or twice versus like he's getting 8 to 12 attempts out of the backfield. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's to say? I mean, unless you trade for him and you extend him, maybe one of them 4-year extensions, but only the first 2 years are guaranteed. And he'll probably get like, that's where he can get what he wants. He'll probably get like $26 million. And it'd be like $50 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right, don't forget, everyone, very, very shortly, we're going to be doing the Buda Baker signed jersey giveaway. If you want those extra entries, the way that you get more entries, send money via Cash App, Apple Pay, or hit me up on Facebook Messenger as well. If you need one of the links, just let me know. And if you send money right now, also let me know so I can get the entries added. I got the big list already created. It's all the people in Patreon. Don't forget, some extra entries there. Just go get signed up on Patreon for the very first time. Patreon.com/FFHustler420. Get into a Dynasty League. We got another Dynasty League about to start here in a couple weeks. And yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff going on there, off season and in the regular season. So go get on it right now. Got about 20 minutes before we do the giveaway and get out of here.
And of course, it's an ID player.
Yeah, because there's a whole nother side of fantasy that you're too scared to explore. So you wouldn't know how awesome Buda Baker is.
Come on, man. And you're smoking Buddha.
Yeah, come on. I'm trying to look out for you. We're having all the fun over here. We're eating all kind of candy.
Are you the dad of the group?
No, hell no. I'm the cool uncle.
But yeah, seriously, Ron, you're gonna love it after you get into it. It's Hess is the one who kind of explained it best. It is learning a new language or a different version of a language. So I understand that part, but like literally, like right now, you're like, should you guys even be giving out your strategies like mid-draft? Like we're literally helping people, so they don't fuck up their dynasty teams, because I mean, the guys in this draft, everyone in this league that we're in right now, they're all in other leagues. But there's leagues where, like last year, Antonio, for example, never played in an IDP league before ever. And like,
dominated.
How would I be, like keeping all the secrets like away from him, like just like players' names and shit like that? It's the mock drafts. That's what really does it, because everyone could go back and look at our mock drafts. And you can already determine some value.
I was really just joking around.
No. I don't take that as a joke.
No, yeah, I don't think it's a joke, Mom.
Everyone hates on IDP, so like.
No, not about that. I mean about giving out your strategy. I was joking about giving out your strategy.
Oh,
yeah. I was like, but no, I do think IDP is not necessary.
I like fucking around as long as that was funny, dude.
I'm not scared of it, though.
Unless you're in the league, you're scared of it. That's just what it
means.
He's
shaking in his boots.
I really it took me so long to agree to play PPR instead of standard because I was like, that's not the game.
Oh my god, it explains it all.
I'm like, it gives too much value to pass catching running backs.
This guy wanted everything to be left.
And you know what's funny is every time someone says they're against IDP, I ask them how long they've been playing. And if they're like, oh, I'm one of those old school guys from the 80s or 90s. I'm like, were you one of those guys who was bitching about PPR back then as well?
Yeah. Why would you give wide receivers so much value? I'm used to it now, but I still prefer half PPR because it's more balanced.
It just makes it more fun.
You're so scary.
Last year I played, or 2 years ago, I played one PPR, one half PPR, one standard.
Hell yeah, Anthony, Uncle Buck. He said, I'm going to sign up and whoop that ass soon. I just need to get my priorities straight first, but I'm going to try this year. I'll hit you up, Huss. Well, everyone, I talked about it a little bit ago. So I can't remember, Anthony, if you were in the big best ball tournament that I did last year. It was a $20 buy-in, and it was like 120 teams in it. Top team took home like $1,000 in a ring, and we're gonna do it again this year, but I'm mixing in IDP. So like the Scott Fish Bowl, like it was funny. Ron brought that up because like that's what I aspire this to like turn out to be. You know, even though it's best ball, it's like a big draft. You know, or just a big crazy bunch of drafts that get us ready. You know, for the redraft season. And
What is happening?
Scott Fish will never add IDP. He just said there will be like so much like non-interest that he would never do it. So we're going to do it this year, and we're going to ease people in. We're going to make them dip their toe just in, and $20 league, $30 league, you know, something like that. But a crazy big ass tournament, and it's going to be awesome. So Ron, I know you're definitely getting in that. So you're going to have to draft an IDP player or two. You should draft at least 3 because we're going to have 3 starters.
He's not going to do it. I bet $20 he does it.
Yeah, and David P says defense is where it's at. And these dynasty leagues that you got in, David, are they the first leagues that you got in with IDP? And Anthony said, I like kickers and special teams, but I can play. Yeah. I hate kickers. I really don't like.
I don't mind special teams because that can really be strategic. But like, I don't mind streaming defense, but I hate kickers.
Oh, how can the special teams be strategic?
What do you mean? You stream defense as you play the other team they're playing, not the defense themselves.
I know, but where's the strategy in that?
Picking the right defense. What do you mean? Where's the strategy?
Yeah, I think it's because
you said I think it's because you said special teams, not defense.
Yeah, you said special teams.
I didn't. The person on the chat thing said.
I'm just saying this is why to hell with the team defenses and all that shit.
Yeah, get rid of it.
It's just stupid.
What's wrong with that?
Because that is where luck. That is the definition of luck.
No, it isn't. Streaming defenses is difficult.
Well, here's the thing. Dynasty leagues, you can't stream any position really because all the players are taken.
That is
so. For a dynasty, I think it's just stupid as hell because everyone's gonna draft gonna draft like 3 defenses. You know, is what I assume.
That makes sense.
I never. Even when it comes to team defenses, I'm streaming those motherfuckers half the time. You know what I mean?
And teams
redraft, because that's when we're talking redraft.
Yeah, totally different from year to year too. But but dynasty, I can see not doing it in dynasty. Yeah.
All right. How about this?
Like even for dynasty, well, hold on, Bogey, because even for dynasty, tight ends for redraft, that's one of those positions you have to stream. In my leagues, I make it optional to play a tight end, but if you play a tight end, you get an extra half a point per reception for playing the tight end if you decide to play one. But it's because it's one of those positions. If you don't have one of the top couple, you're streaming. So now it just adds a level to the strategy. You want to rock with tight ends, or do you want to avoid it altogether? Right. Do you want to pay up for a tight end that's going to, be a top tier wide receiver also because they get these extra points, per reception or extra half a point? So that's what makes it different is dynasty versus redraft. Like there's no streaming like at all.
Right.
Yeah. Like when I'm playing redraft, bro, that's like the true definition of like, however this draft is going to go for me. I'm probably going to mold my draft. But at the same time, like if I'm like top 3 in a super draft, like a redraft, super flex league, I'm never not going quarterback. Like it's just like it's stupid. You know what I mean? Same thing in a dynasty league. Like you have to secure your QBs. You could be fucked for years. Like so, let alone why and I do it in redraft. So for damn sure I'm doing that in a dynasty startup. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Antonio said, team defense, whoever plays the Jets. Yeah, that was the
exactly
streaming move last year.
Yeah, but
everyone else is doing that too, so you have to be strategic about it. Where do you put them in your waiver priorities? Who do you play? Do you keep certain people like the Patriots and Dallas?
You keep trying to make it so complex. It's the most rudimentary style of fantasy.
Well, here's the thing, and let me just tell you this from a viewership standpoint. Though the streaming defenses that I would do, because I kind of stopped doing like start and sit wide receiver and all that.
Yeah.
Those videos had the most views out of everything. So there's a shit ton of people who are really wondering.
Maybe you should listen to your mother.
I was gonna say there's a shit ton of runs out there that are, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm awesome.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just because listen, we're degenerates, man. So like, you're this tier in that sense, because when you get up here to the next tier, there's a whole nother world, and all these motherfuckers is cutthroat as fuck. And you said strategic or waiver wire stuff. Sometimes that's just not in your control. How is it strategic who you're claiming to waiver? Your waiver's that. What did you have a rolling waiver, or did you have? There's too many other variables where it's like saying strategy. It's all luck when you play in the simplified leagues. When you get into the more intricate style of like hustler leagues, there's no luck. You know what I mean? There's no luck.
All right.
Yeah, the luck is your players not getting hurt. That's about the most luck.
That is the luck
that you can really have. But I feel like all these crazy ass leagues, like they're getting more and more out there. Like people want to play in vampire leagues now. People want to play in guillotine, leagues now. People want to do the auction style drafts. And it's because everyone's getting bored with these standard ass fucking leagues that they're playing.
I don't know if I want to do the auction draft. That just seems like if someone doesn't understand it, you're gonna have like 3 teams that are just appallingly bad because they don't understand how to auction.
That's their fault.
Yeah, but it's redraft.
I know, but
so
it sucks to have them in your league.
Don't be in leagues with those guys.
It's redraft, so who cares? But that also comes down to, for guys like me, I'm providing content. I provide content to like people that are in leagues with me, like sometimes they can just go watch my videos, but there's a whole bunch of shit out there on YouTube. So everybody could figure out anything with any style of league if you search hard enough on YouTube. There's just not a lot of IDP. That's why it's like IDP army, like me, IDP guys, and then like
there isn't a lot of IDP. That's true.
Yeah. So but it's one thing I always ask, like if there's someone who's like a huge analyst, I always ask them IDP questions to make them sound stupid, like when they answer.
Because they are on TV, so they have to study. So they're not going to waste their time on stuff that people aren't going to ask them on TV. Like not TV, whatever this is.
It's because they
it
don't.
Comes down to is this a
It's
job
because
or is
they're
this a lifestyle of loving football?
Hey,
you still have to know the other team's defense to know what your offensive players are going to go against.
Damn right.
Yeah, you have to. I love the world that Ron lives in, where everything's right and everything's like works like correctly.
The funny thing is, you are the one who acts like that.
No, I live in chaos.
No one's exaggerating anything but you. I'm not saying. I'm saying my opinion. You're being like, oh, but he thinks everything's right, but I'm right.
No, man, it's the Terrence Howard, the get rich or die trying. It's I'm wrong, but even if I'm right, I could have been wrong. So I'm really right.
Yeah, am I on the Matrix?
A little bit. And Anthony said IDP, I could see why it's fun because it goes by player, more players to pick when free agents are scarce. Hell yeah. And just think about that. Everything with IDP, all it does is make the offensive player pool seem a little bit bigger. In the drafts, you're getting wide receivers way later than you would in non-IDP drafts. In your free agents, people have to pick whatever player is the top player on free agency. It may be offense, it may be defense. So if you're an offensive guy, you're probably going to have a more offensive stacked team just for that reason. And David P said, just watch out for the shit trades. That's for sure. And Anthony said, got to fill the league, though, too. People don't even play the whole season. People not as into it as much and just play on Sunday. Yeah, that's for sure. And that's going to, I mean, if you're in a hustler league, like you're a degenerate, like you're addicted to this. So that's like never going to come up. But that's why I like doing the best ball tournament versus like the Scott Fish Bowl. Like Scott Fish Bowl, everyone is playing like, you know, every single week. And I could tell there was weeks that people just didn't set their lineups and shit like that. Some people got bullshit wins, you know, so it happens. You got 2,000 players, like it's going to happen. But yeah, that's why people do redraft and not dynasty more often than not, because you can kick people out of leagues like real easy in a redraft league. You know, you just don't invite them the next year.
Yeah, Dynasty's rough when people stop playing. But, you know, like that's my fear of like trying to start one without knowing the people that I'm starting one with.
Yeah, and seeing for me, I mean, okay, like the fantasy footballers, I mean, you know, they're the biggest, you know, in the game. And to get into like their Foot Clan leagues, you have to join up, you know, go to footclanleagues.com or whatever the fuck, you know, right. Their thing is. Same thing for me. If you're going to get in a dynasty league, and I'm going to do it for a lot of the redraft leagues too, certain ones where you have to be in the community, you know, the 420.
Or you ain't
be a
fucking
part
with
of
it.
Yeah, because I mean, I want to know that people are committed to this too. And
hey, you know what? Hold on. I want to go back to what, like, you know, what Ron was saying about your opinion. It's cool to have your opinion, but when you speak these things on IDP and you've never attempted it, because you're scary as fuck, by the way, but you never attempted it. Your opinion doesn't mean anything to me. You know what I mean? Because you're like downplaying some. You wanted to keep everything standard. Like you're that guy. You know what I mean?
You're saying your opinion is right?
Yeah. No, he's saying he just doesn't put too much.
That's okay. You don't have to. Your opinion. And I don't take offense to you not caring about my opinion. It doesn't bother me in the least.
All right, and Anthony said, "Why isn't anyone smoking?" All right.
Yes.
I smoked when he said that.
10 minutes or 20 minutes. Time to smoke.
No, because you keep getting saved by me going to the Matrix. Right when he says, when he says one of them snarky ass mother comments. You know what I mean?
That's right. Because someone's on my side, because they know. I got people. I got people.
Oh my God, that's your argument.
All right. So yeah, the best ball tournament, it's gonna have IDP in it. I do a lot of the 2QB or the 2QB plus Superflex League. We've never had IDP in there. We're gonna have it in there now. For the Vampire Leagues, we've never had IDP in there. We're gonna have IDP in there now, and it's gonna get real crazy. It's gonna get crazy. And yeah, Ron, you better step up your game and get into some of these crazy ass leagues with us.
I'm less degenerate. I'm more of a hobby. I've been playing with the same people for a long time, but
how many times you win it?
I gotta expand.
How many times you win that thing?
A lot.
Hold on, how many times you win that thing? I'm curious.
I've won. How many championships have I won?
Yeah,
5.
You said you play with the same guys all the time. How many times you beat them?
Well, I've come in first, fifth 5 times, first or second 5 times, and third 5 times out of 23 teams.
So you're one. So you got to the promised land and took it home one time.
No, 5 times.
5 times. So I would expect that because it's the same group. You know what I mean? I would expect that because you're with the same group. You should know these guys. You should be able to destroy them.
Yeah, but they've been playing with me for years.
So no, I'm just learning because it makes sense. Like you can't go outside of this bubble. You like being good in this one league, so you could talk to people like.
Well, no, it's two. It's two leagues.
It's 2 leagues. I'm sorry, I'll correct myself. But you're good in these 2 leagues, so you talk to people like us, and you're like, "Oh, I know this, that." I don't hear all that because you're only playing those 2 leagues. And I'm glad you said you won it a total of 5 times out of the 2 leagues. Because if you only told me one time, I'd be like, "Yo, you'll never survive in any
Well,
other state.
what I said
in
was
those leagues.
5 times, came in second 5 times, came in third 5 times out of 23 teams. But okay.
I believe you because white people,
21 teams, 21 or
white people
23.
categorize everything. So I believe you because they know how to, they don't ever forget the catalog. You know what I mean? They just 2 shots Jaeger, 3 bone rips. Like I know for sure you can't when you tell me all those times. But see, here's the thing though.
Why would I lie?
Those leagues. Listen, you better dominate those leagues because that's the only leagues you're willing to play in. Because you can't come into these leagues. I'm telling you that now. You're not ready for these ones. You're not.
Well, we're still making him jump in, so
yeah, I know. But I'm saying no, he's not ready.
All right, and Uncle Buck, he said, let's talk about the first time that we got high or the highest that we've ever been. All right, I'll tell you the 2 times that I have. So the first time I ever got high, it was freshman year, Halloween. That's 2000, and yeah, it was a guy we got the weed from. His name was Bud Green, and that's really what it said on his ID, Bud Green. And or he had a fake ID that said Bud Green on it that looked exactly like the real thing.
Well,
and
if you name your kid Bud Green, you're really asking for that career.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And
Bud Green is a legend.
And the highest that we've ever been. All right, so one time where I like literally almost passed the fuck out after I took a hit. I was taking a dab, fat ass dab hit, and the table that the dab rig was on, it was probably like waist high, so I had to like bend over like halfway, and I hit it, and I stood up as I was hitting it, and it was like I took a gravity hit, like a gravity dab hit, because I pulled up. Like, man, I felt like all my legs were going weak, like I literally couldn't see. It was the craziest thing ever. I'd lost like all sense of balance. And like I felt like I was like about to go down, like a boxer about to go down in the 12th round. And I touched the table that like the dab rig was on. It was like as when I touched it, it was like I got my sense of balance back. I could see and everything. It was the craziest fucking thing ever. And yeah, everyone was just looking at me and they were like, "Are you all right?"
And then he goes, "Pack that shit again." Pack that shit again, bud.
Whew. But yeah, those were 2 times in my life. First time and the highest I think I've ever been. At least it was 1 hit. How much can you guys say that you've ever smoked at like a concert or like anything like that? Have you ever brought like an ounce and blew through it at like a concert or anything like that?
Senior week, I smoked a lot of weed.
Okay.
But the most high, like the first time I was ever like truly high, like where I understood that level existed. Like I've been high before, but like the time I was like, you know, like
you got that Cali bud for sure.
Or like, well, we would get everything in drum circles from hippies. Who knows? I think most of them grew it in their backyards, but
that's what's crazy is me hearing people say like, "Oh, I don't even know if I got high." Like the first time, I guess it's just different in Cali because like, yeah, I got the shit from Bud Green, and Bud Green had that straight.
But like, I will say, Philly weed is not great. Usually, we have to get it from Connecticut or New York, and I bring it down.
Everywhere not California is not good weed.
Yeah,
especially you go back 20 years, you go back to the 90s and shit like that. Like maybe now, you know, this California weed is circulating around.
Well, and seeds are all feminized and so easy to get now. Everyone can like grow it in their basements and shit.
Yeah.
And they make those like zip up closets that contain the smell. Like if you ain't drying it out, you can get away with it. So you just have to like dry it somewhere else or like somehow find a reason why your house smells like weed for a week.
Yeah, but you can get those charcoal filters easily. Come on. You don't know what you're talking about again.
Uncle Buck says for the first time I got high, I seen murder of crows, at least 500 flying and making tracers. What the fuck?
You know, Bogey, you can tell a lot about a guy the way he treats his mother.
You ain't my mother, Mom.
And Anthony said you were dehydrated, huh? Maybe.
You know what? Listen, I had a similar story like that, bro. It was it's like everything rushed to my head. All I could see was white. I lost my whole equilibrium, everything, bro. Like And it was right after I hit a dab, and I was just like, oh, but I mean, it was a summer day. Who knows? You know what I mean? I just remember it being hell summer, and I just crouched down to my knees, and I was holding on to the ground. I was like, whoa. I was like, that's not normal. But see, that there's definitely other things going on in the body when that happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That good dad's not supposed to do that. You know what I mean?
No. My dad always tells this story of how we were like all the way in like South, like San Diego, cleaning pools and stuff like that. Just like, you know, more towards like the south of the county. And then we like drive all the way to North County, and we're just like smoking the entire time. I'm just packing bowls while he's driving. And we go up to my friend who had like the dab spot, and we get to his place. And actually, it wasn't North San Diego. It was like by the beach, like La Jolla, the fancy part of San Diego. And we go in there, and we're just taking like dab after dab. And I just go along my way. You know, I forget what happened, but we rode together, and I rode separately home. He had to like stay at the beach and like go walk around for like 2 hours and shit. He's like felt way too high, and like there's no way that he was driving, he said.
I've been around people like that. They get high, they cannot drive. It's like, whoa. It's
I
like,
drive better when I'm high.
I was gonna say most people get laser. I mean, man, you're supposed to lock in. That's just, it's like an extra sensory perception when you're on weed. You feel me? Like,
yeah,
motherfuckers play video games better. Motherfuckers, they fuck better. Fucking whatever your craft is, you do it better. Weed is a real, especially when you got good weed. Maybe it's because like motherfuckers just don't be having it good, bro. Like I be forgetting that sometimes that like, you know what I'm saying? We're just been spoiled out here, out west. You know what I mean? Like
way spoiled. All right,
because because it's not like people can't acquire it nowadays if you're elsewhere, but it's dummy expensive if you're elsewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's pretty expensive there too. If you go to the dispensary.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I mean, even locally, you ain't lying because like motherfuckers is charging local tax for everything.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you're paying local tax on top of a state tax on top of a motherfucking whatever. There's like 4 different fees you have to pay.
Like PA has medical in Jersey's for everything now, and like you can't go to dispensaries because you wind up paying like 3 times the price of the street because like.
But people are gonna do it because people will do it because of the convenience, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's like you can get the exact thing you want.
Not everyone's a reliable drug dealer everywhere, all over the world, to like every single person. Like that's the thing that brings people like back. You know.
Yeah. Hey, I bet you. Hey, okay, Ronald, when you were growing up, right? When you hit your weed man up, you don't go be like, "Hey, what you got on deck?" And he don't ask that. You see, I want a 20 sack or I want this.
Yeah.
Because you're just gonna buy whatever he got.
And they didn't even know the name of stuff. Like that idea didn't even like we didn't even have that.
We didn't grow up like that.
They just called everything exotic or kind bud. They just like everything was it was levels, but like you had like swag, which I wouldn't mess with, but then you had like MIDI, which was like gross, and then you had like a middle ground, like beast, and then you had like what they would call like dank, exotic, kind bud kind of thing. But you didn't have like specific strains or anything. They just, you got whatever they had that time. It was different.
California's had dispensaries since 1996, so I wasn't even 18 until 2004.
But now we have like people know what strain it is, but it took a long time for that to get here.
Yeah, well, that's what we're saying. Like that's what Bogey's saying. We grew up like that, so we had to be that was like if you weren't providing that type of service that these businesses were providing, you would just go to the business. Like if people were like shitbags with what they did, like why would you deal with shitbags? And like it's hard to find someone who was like dope at like dealing dope.
And to be honest, it's probably the best thing for places like Jersey or like because look at. It was a real like experiment. They're like, okay, we'll let Seattle and like Denver do it first, and then it was like, okay, when I'm talking about recreational, even you know what I mean, like not just decriminalizing the motherfucker, like full on. If you're just old enough, you can go to dispensaries, all that shit. And then it started just. Then they're like, we're gonna do it statewide, and then all of a sudden they're making billions of dollars, bro. And it's crazy, like.
But see, like, it's also driving the street because they're charging so much at the dispensaries. People can grow it and make something by charging half of what you pay at the dispensary.
Yeah, it's just can they be?
I mean, they
can
better
be
be one hell of a
consistent
green
enough?
thumb. You better be one hell of a green thumb, bro, and grow some real good indoor, whatever. Like, listen, man, like I could tell if I'm looking at some tree, bro, I'll tell you if it was outdoor or indoor, or if it was greenhouse, or if it's light depth. There's all different methods of motherfuckers growing it. If it ain't indoor and it ain't in controlled environments, it's probably not in my blood. It's probably not in my papers. It's probably not in my, you know what I mean? Like, it's all, man, we smoking top shelf, bro.
Yeah, I'm not a snob like that. I'm a little bit.
No, there's a difference of a connoisseur when it comes to California, because, like, I mean, in California, like, yeah, was there Reggie Bush, you know, going around just the regular buds, like Antonio said, regs, which are straight trash? Yeah, because we literally were like right by the border, you know. So, like, man, I mean, I knew guys in high school that were getting it for free from their uncles who were just giving them shit so they could, like, you know, bring more money for their family, you know, and shit. So, like, there's a whole bunch of cheap weed out there. But, like, once you experienced a little bit of, once you eat filet mignon, you don't really go back to hot dogs that often, you know. Like, you try to get as much filet mignon as you can.
Yeah, I like can handle anything where there's no seeds. Like, if there's a seed in there, like, get away from it. But as long as it doesn't have seeds, I'm okay with lower quality stuff.
See, even that, there you go, Freak Stomper. He said 180 for the OZ, and Anthony said 180 sounds about right. And even in Cali, you know, but that'll be like the mid. That's like the B stuff.
Yeah,
B plus stuff. That's not the A plus.
Yeah, you're still gonna pay like closer to $3 or like two fishy, like you know, for some top shelf, because like motherfuckers will love you for that. They'll be like, yeah. You know what I mean? Because that's
and
what
you have to know that person for a
cube.
long time to get that price. That's for sure. If you're getting the 250s, you know, like, man, for some A plus stuff, like,
that's the jug. You're like you are. They love you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're getting that, they love you. And look at anytime, like I do have a favorite strain. I love Durban Poison. That's like the shit to me. And like anytime anybody that I know got that shit, I'm trying to buy as much of it just for me. You know what I mean? I remember the last time I ran into someone that had Durban Poison, he had 2 zips of it. I was like, let me get that. Let me get all of it. And I just, because it was like, and I paid $250 a zip. Because even the Durban Poison, though it's an older strain, it's still, when you grow it correctly, this is like top shelf. You know what I mean?
And really, like, people will pay more than that. So, like, that, then it comes down
so
to,
they
like,
can sell it, right? Exactly.
Yeah. Way more than that.
Yeah, I'm copping that to put it. I'm copping that to put in the air. And you know what's funny is like,
right, no seed, no stems, correct.
Like I told Hudson one time, it would be dope. Like if we get to a point where, like, you know what I mean, we writing off like show props, because we could buy tons of weed at legal spots and then just have receipts, bro. And write off as a show price.
Also, if you're buying like a quarter pound, you're going to get it cheaper too. I mean,
of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
and
just
like,
anything.
and here's the thing:
anything in life, you buy it in bulk, you get it cheaper.
Yeah, and like when you go to dispensaries, you know what I mean. Like, if I'm gonna buy a quarter pound worth of weed, like, you're spending a lot of money. You know what I mean?
And that's the problem. Dispensaries only give you 8. They won't even give you
dispensaries. But here's my point: the dispensaries aren't for that. The dispensaries are for motherfuckers who are like, you know.
When I go to the dispensaries, I'm getting the
purse. You know, you got different individuals. Like on Wednesdays at one of the dispensaries I fuck with, it's like 10% off all pre-rolls on a Wednesday. You'll see all the motherfuckers line up and they buy like 5, 6, 7 pre-rolls at a time because that's their thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's literally the drug dealer that has a menu for you because they're coming through. They only want to spend about $50, $60. You know what I mean? And you get what I'm saying? Like, that's what, and they destroyed it for the street.
You're buying THC, you pick your form.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, if you want to say it like that, yeah.
You get in a lot of different forms too.
Yeah. Hey, listen, and the promotional deals, like motherfuckers will look like fuck motherfucking weed maps and shit. Well, man, weed maps is the shit, bro. I done drove through like Nevada in like the desert type shit, like, and then on the way home from Vegas, like, and like, oh, we pull off. It's the middle of right when we crossed the border in the motherfucking Bakersfield or whatever it was, because they had a goddamn dispensary that was open till like midnight. We're like, it's 11 o'clock. And it was like weird. Like they would never have a dispensary open late like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But shout out to Weed Maps. You know what I mean? Like, like the weed adventure being from Cali is fucking awesome. Like, you know what I mean? We've seen it all and it's still not done. Like it's funny when cookies started hitting the nation, you know what I mean? It was crazy. Cause we were like, damn, we've been smoking cookie for like damn near 6-7 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was that shit you would pay $400 for the zip. You know what I mean? Just to smoke on. You know what I mean?
I want to say 2011 or 2012. It was one of those two. The first time that I ever smoked some like cookies, and like it was crazy because like you just heard the allure. Like I'm in Southern California. That shit's coming from Northern, California. No one grows cookies in Southern California yet. And when I first saw it, and we had to pay $400 for the zip. It was priced just where they priced it.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at it, and it was like brownish and like purple. Like it had the green, but it had like weird like brown traces like in it and shit. And it looked ugly as fuck. And I was like pissed. I was like, man, we paid $400 for this shit. This is like early cookie stages. I was at least coming.
Danky.
You got so fucking high when you smoked that shit.
Brown shit is awesome. There used to be people used to love that shit, and then it didn't look cool enough, and people stopped growing it. But like that, like
because you know what? I need to stop you right there. They can't grow it right, bruh. The cookies fam that made this cookie, the cookies, the Girl Scout cookie strain, the cookie strain, all that shit. It was like master crossbreeders, bro. That's why, like, these people that get their hands on the seeds, they're not doing it like these fools do it out here. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, like, your green thumb better be really good, because at the end of the day, like, it ain't just having the good strain. You gotta grow this motherfucker right. You gotta trim it right. You gotta manicure it right. You know what I'm saying?
And Anthony right here, Uncle Buck, said I was growing some Kill Cousins, and he said 18 lbs on 8 lights. So I already know. I mean, and Anthony, I already know
he's talking that shit.
He knows what's up.
Yeah. Hey, I was on a 12-12 myself. You know what I'm saying? This thing was round the clock. 12-hour lights. 12-hour buddy, 12-hour vegging, because we had 2 batches going all the time. One almost done and one like in the early stages. And we just rinse and repeat. Everything's all 12-12s, you know what I mean? And if a motherfucking power went out somehow, boom, a generator would jump on. And that shit was dope. Some of the best money I ever invested, because I didn't have to do anything, because I'm a terrible green thumb. But as long as they know how to do it, I'll pay, you know what I mean? And that shit was tight, because there's something gratifying about like having your own brand of weed, man. That's what these motherfuckers is doing now too. They taking strains and starting claiming them. Like Khalifa Kush, that wasn't nothing but like a different strain of OG. You know what I mean? He just took it like, he can have this, and he's like, all right, this is mine. You know what I mean?
Motherfucker.
I know.
Nigel, good looking on the super chat, bro, said had to stop by for the biggest day of the year for the 420 crew. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And Nigel, don't forget, we got the shirt now, the 420 crew shirt. Got the new style in. Go hit it up. 420crew.org. Everyone go hit that up.
Yeah.
And Anthony said, I hated growing cookies, but it was fire, just not a great yielder at first. And said, yep, they didn't do it. They didn't dry it right or something. There's always some shit that could happen to where any little thing could like fuck up a batch. Like you had to do it perfect.
And I remember this one time I picked up, it was like a 10-pack, bro. And it was going for dummy cheap. And I was looking, I was like, man, this is fire, dude. Then when you start digging into it, it was hella riddled with seeds. And I'm like, listen, bro, you drop that shit like 5-6 bands, I'll take it. I was like, you're stuck with it, you know what I mean? And then like I knew motherfuckers that I could sell to, they're just gonna pick the seeds out and blast it for wax, you know what I mean? It's like, because cookie wax is the shit, you know what I mean? But sometimes that happens because
or make food with it. Yeah.
You happen to, whatever stage you're at, you have a motherfucker just fucking shoots his load off into the room and impregnates all these bitches with seeds. You know what I'm saying? A motherfucker bust.
And Anthony said, give me money. And he said, pay me in bud, Bogey.
And Bogey, this may surprise you, but my weed comes from California.
Yeah, I know.
But better now.
I hear the strains you be naming, you know what I mean? But I'm talking, I was referring to when you were growing up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, my weed sucked.
And what I was talking about when you were saying that, when I said you didn't know what you were talking about, is when you were talking about those tents, you know what I mean? When you're like, oh, you know, it's the tents for the smell, and I'm like, no. Like, you're never gonna hide the smell like that. You need charcoal filters. You know what I mean? Like, there's ways that people doing it, like where even like your old man's can be like my pops has one of those little tins. He grown his little pot just because when you can. And you know what's funny too is you only really needed a filter back in the days when you had to hide that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, it don't even fucking matter nowadays, depending on, well, I mean, depending where you're at, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, if you own your house, you know, like no one's fucking
Yeah.
if you're growing your
But if you're in like grow home, like they're gonna
See, that's
smell
different
it.
though. Because
Yeah.
because motherfuckers was doing that. Renting whole houses, every room's going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every single room. You know what I mean?
And then like you have to be careful because like every year, 4 years, 2 months before the presidential election, they'll take down all the weed houses that they've known about just to like get political clout right before the elections, and then like everything gets more expensive because everyone's getting it the next level down because they lose the weed houses in it.
All those weed busts are just turning into big jokes. Like you see the memes like on there where it's like someone they were like, look at this, we just seized like $250,000 worth of like drugs and merchandise, and it's like a handgun and like 2 small bags of weed or like, you know, shit like that.
Hey, you know what's hella funny too is like when you go way up north, like all the way down there, like Oregon type shit, and it's a motherfucking the Emerald Triangle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's not damn near Oregon, I should say. It's like, because I forget there's the mountains, the Redding and all that shit first before Oregon, but up there in Humboldt County, there we go. That's what it's called. Out in Humboldt County, that's the real Emerald Triangle, bro. Like they seize like. They're seizing hundreds and hundreds of packs all day, and they can't stop nobody. They're just taking it away from them because now that's just money for them, bro. It's all they're doing is slowing people up.
Well, and all they're doing is putting it into the hands of the dirty ass cops too. Like, let's be real.
And it is funny though, remembering like all the crazy shit people used to do with these grow houses, bro. Because like even like hiding it from the PG&E, that's the motherfucking shit that that's the energy company that you pay out here in a lot of parts of Cali, right?
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? They would have motherfuckers that have whole units, and they'll go to sites that have uncharacteristic spikes in energy usage, or like consistently, you know, what do they call it? I think it's unethical. They have some type of fucking measurement that when this house using way too much energy, you got to go out there and check that out. You know what I mean? Whole units that were just dedicated to that because these were mostly 9 times out of 10 they're grow houses. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah!
Like you got all, and then they started changing the game with the lights. Oh, now we got LED lights, and now we can hide this shit even more. You know what I'm saying? Because the LEDs ain't fucking blowing circuits, or you got to steal power from the neighbor. Like, you know, motherfuckers is doing scandalous shit. And it's just so funny because all that shit, no one has to do that no more.
Now you have to do that to mine crypto.
Nothing.
That's what all the crypto people have to do.
That's just funny.
See, I can't talk about crypto or anything like that. I don't know shit about it.
Yeah, and David P, good looking on the super chat, bro. I just got you the extra entry into the Buddha Baker signed jersey. We're about to be doing it here real shortly. Just gonna smoke another bowl or two. So get those super chats in. Go ahead and do that right now.
Oh, we missed 420.
Yeah, we missed it by a couple minutes. Let's smoke it up. We were too busy talking about the grow houses.
Which one is this? Is this your one?
One of the most fun times that I've ever had. Yeah, Stativelli, what up, bro?
Smoke weed every day.
Let's get it. Smoke weed every day. One of the most fun times that I had, like smoking experience-wise, it was when I was hanging out with Devin the Dude. And Ron, you heard of Devin the Dude up in Philly?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And Bogey, you know who Devin the Dude is, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. So I linked up with some of his people and at one of the shows before. And then this time I was just the dude that they hit up as soon as they got off the plane. Like, roll over there. It's me and 2 of my homies. And I think we both have like an ounce, like all 3 of us have an ounce each, like just in case. It's because you never know. And there's 5 of us. One, my 2 homies, and then Devin, and then his cousin, who's like his road manager, pretty much. And we all rolled up a 5-pack of Swishers each. So like this is just like the first session of the day before.
I was just about to ask, This was the Swisher days for sure.
Yeah, this is the Swisher Sweets. So I think we had, I mean, some were strawberry, some were regular. I mean, I was usually on just the regular kind.
Yeah, me too.
We didn't need the extra flavor, you know, like we already
got good
weed.
weed.
Yeah, we already got good weed. So that's our first session of the day is like 25 Swishers, like to the face. Like if nothing else, that's anywhere from 1 gram to 2 grams, you know, in these Swishers, you know, times 25. So just ridiculous. And Anthony said the doobie ashtray. Hell yeah. And so then, I mean, we all go home, we all get ready and shit. And then we go back like to the club. And he's the headliner, you know, obviously. It's at House of Blues in San Diego or 4th and B or some shit like that. One of the music venues. And so we get in finally, we go upstairs to where he's got like his suite or whatever. And there's a table right there. And then me and my 2 homies, like literally we're just rolling up like blunt after blunt, like getting ready for the show. So some of these are going in our pocket, getting ready to like, you know, light them up on stage. But a lot of times we're hitting a blunt, like loading it up.
Just passing it to the crowd, huh?
No, I was passing it to Devin. Like that's who it was. And then he would pick who it would go to after that. You know, so he was just right by us, and he comes over here, like right above us. Like, you see my 3 homies right here. Do not fuck with them. Don't touch them. Don't mess with them. Like, because like we were the Reed rolling assembly line, like for this show. Like it was pretty ridiculous. And so I don't know how much.
Right.
I don't even know how much we smoked backstage. I mean, I know going on stage, I had 3 packs of 5 blunts in my pocket, and my friends had the same. And one of my homies, he got this Godzilla blunt wrap and wrapped up 1 ounce in that thing. Like it was as big as the mic. Like it was ridiculous. So Devin goes out there on stage, and his first song, whatever it was, I don't even remember, you know, a little intro song or whatever. And then like his guy comes up next to us. He's like, all right, get ready. He's going to like bring you guys on. And then he's like, all right, show some love to my San Diego partners. And then I go out first and I throw the blunts up in the air and the crowd just starts going crazy. And we all start lighting up. And then my friend lights up that like Godzilla blunt. And there's this, man, the best video on YouTube got taken down from this. And I wish I would have downloaded it a long time ago. I'm a fucking idiot for forgetting it. And but he gets the blunt and he starts hitting it and he starts like laughing and shit because like the blunt's literally as big as the mic. He knew there was going to be a big ass blunt, but he didn't know like how big it was actually going to be. That shit lasted 45 minutes of the concert.
Cone? I'm curious, did he roll it like a cone?
No, it was rolled like
it was just like an arm.
Not even like an arm. Like it was probably like this big, like around, if you could see me, like maybe like, you know, 4 or 5 inches, you know, around. And just think about as big as a microphone.
Yeah, because a microphone, you're right. The circumference of a microphone ain't that crazy.
But at the mouth part too? How you get that thing in your mouth?
Well, I mean, the mouth part, I mean, it got pretty nasty, like towards the end, not gonna lie. Like, there was so much resin, you know, that got there at the end. But it was so funny because so he was hitting that for a while and then passed it off and or passed it back to my homie. And then he stopped the concert like after like 4 or 5 songs. He was like, "Where's that big ass blunt at? Let me get that back." That shit was fucking hilarious.
Hey, you know what's hella funny though, right? It's like the Devin the dude, bro. Like that motherfucker is one of the like he's like one of the low key he's one of the low key unheralded weed heads in the world, bro. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like. Him and Yuck Mouth are like very underrated when it comes to like the weed Olympics and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Uncle Buck said that Scarface people, the Lackville 79. Hell yeah. If you guys are weed smokers and you haven't heard Devin the Dude's music, yeah, go fucking research some of his just anything off of his first 2 albums. I mean, actually anything off of the first 3 albums.
My dad used to tell me about going to Cheech and Chong shows where they would pass around like a giant, like humongous blunt just into the crowd.
Bro, like, man, they used to give out the ounce paper like in their fucking like albums. That shit was so fire.
Yep. That was the record sleeve. The record sleeve that was inside the actual. Well, I mean, not the sleeve. You know, they put the record in the sleeve. There's a thin layer, and that's a big ass giant zag, bro.
That's fucking fire. And Anthony said I would have rolled the blunt with that. Hell yeah, man, crazy shit. But
you know what I like about like if I'm so like snooty these days. Like if I smoke a blunt, it's like it's gotta have one of them glass tips, or I gotta roll it with a glass tip or something. You know what I mean? Because I like being able to smoke something to the end and it's not all nasty and shit. You know what I mean? Especially these backwoods. I love smoking a backwood because I don't smoke them a lot anymore. Like, you know, before I would backwoods all day. You know what I'm saying? But it's also like, man, like rolling them's a bitch. But if I can get them pre-rolled, you know what I mean, with some fire and some hash in it, or some wax, or some keef, whatever the fuck, on top of the tree, I'm all about those. I was at the dispensary. I mean, yeah, earlier, man, I can't. Everything sold out. I want the motherfuckers, man. So I could just be lazy and just have some fatties rolled already. You know what I mean?
Do you ever use the Cyclones?
I've seen those.
They're easy. They're just easy.
I'm more fan of like the Packwoods. You know what I mean?
They have like the little paper filter at the end, so you. And
that's what you're talking about.
And when it comes
those are
to
awesome. Those are where most pre-rolls are thrown down in. You know what I mean?
And according, you know, when it comes to the backwoods, according to Mac Dre, if they're just tougher to roll, you just don't know how to roll them, man. Like that's really what it is. That was so funny. Mac Dre used to love telling people that. You just don't know how to roll them.
I don't know. I remember the Philly blunts with the amount of spit that goes in one in the COVID days. That seems like that would be a rough procedure where you're just like. It's obviously popular around here. The Philly blunt.
There's no reason to share blunts.
Yeah,
I didn't really.
But we all did though. We all did all the time.
Yeah, we were all young. I remember the first blunt I ever hit, and then it was a thing. It was popular at the time. Was a Garcia Vegas.
Yeah.
The green leaves. Hella harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really hate it. I'm not into blunts anymore. That shit used to have me coughing up my lungs and shit all the time. Like, I mean, man, because when I was 19, like, there was this liquor store right down the street. It was a buy one get one 5-pack of Swisher Sweets, and so it was like, I don't know, like $4 or something for 2 of them, and I would just get 2 of those every day, and those would get smoked every day, no matter what. And yeah, that's why I like the bong, man. It's so fucking clean.
Yeah,
it's literally the cleanest way to do it.
You waste so much weed too. It's an inefficient method.
Because a lot's just burning while you're fucking coughing and shit, and
you can't possibly be smoking it the whole time.
I mean, that's why you got to get them motherfucking them glass tips, though, B. You know what I mean? That shit'll run the blunt really nice. I mean, but actually, I guess that's not the argument. The argument right now is that like it runs like a motherfucker. It wastes the weed. I'll agree with that. Especially, this is why I don't like smoking outside. And it's windy or something. I don't want Mother Nature smoking my weed away. You know what I mean? It'd be windy than the motherfucker. I'm smoking. Takes me a bitch to just light that motherfucker in the wind.
Oh yeah, I hate that.
And then the motherfucker's lit, and Mother Nature just runs my whole blunt away.
You're just like, oh,
yeah. Uncle Buck said Garcia Vega Elegante.
Hey, Garcia. Hey, you want to know why Garcia was the startup blunt for me when I was like a wee tyke? Because we had a group called 11-5 out here, right? Out in Frisco, Legends, you know what I'm saying? Legendary rap group. And they had this song, Everybody Likes Vegas. You know what I mean? If they covered I forget what song they covered. It was an old disco song, you know what I mean? But they talk about smoking Vegas. And like Bone Thugs used to talk about smoking Vegas. Remember? Give it up to the green leaf. You know what I mean? They was talking about Vegas, you know, because that's how they got down. And like when you learn how to roll a Vega, it was the easiest. It stuck so easy. So it was like you could roll like it was like I had like swishers. By the time I started rolling swishers, it was hella easy because Vegas was just dummy easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I did. I was big on the swishers more than the Philly blunts, really, because of the licking thing.
Yeah.
But that was very popular, and I definitely put a lot of people's gross spit in my mouth when I was young. in the blunt days, because Philly blunts are everywhere, obviously.
Hey, the Philly Titans were funny, bro, because that was like a big ass blunt. Like you had to fill that motherfucker up, and that shit was gonna be like, see, this is why I don't smoke with too many people. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. You know what I mean? The motherfuckers is giving the blunt a blowjob and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's not only that, but whoever hit the blunt had to like shotgun it into someone else's mouth to use the most out of the weed. You know, like we would you line up like the guys hitting it with like the girls, and then like the girls would just get the shotgun from the guy, and then you give it to the next guy.
See, that's disgusting.
Yeah, we were gross.
But I remember, or like motherfuckers, they would.
We didn't care though.
Do y'all remember what was they called? They called it submarines, where you would hit the tree, however you hit it, whether it was a bong or a pipe or a joint blunt, whatever it is, and then you start chugging whatever drink you're drinking. You know what I'm saying? And then you exhale it after. You know what I mean?
Or do you flip the blunt around and blow back in it? You blow your smoke back through it.
Oh no, I never did that like that.
And it's like forceful. Like the person gets it forcefully.
Here's the craziest one that I tried, and it was doing way too much. The roars. I don't know if you remember those bongs. The roar. You remember those, Bogey?
Those are like the 4-footers, right?
No. Well, I mean,
no. It had all the chambers.
The sizes varied, but it was one of the first, like where there was like beaker bottoms was like their thing, and glass on glass everything. Like it was the first one.
Yeah, well, they had like the multi chambers, right?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different accessories and shit.
Yeah.
But the craziest thing was the glass on glass, you know, where you could just take out the down stem and then just kind of use it like a big pipe. So I remember a couple times we put a roach in there just to like get it all the way to the end. That got a little bit too crazy. I was hitting that shit way too hard.
Hey, I forgot about that. That's what you're talking about. Yeah, because you got smoke till it's gone. And what better way than to kill that bitch through the bong and shit? And that shit'll smooth suck right into the water. That water be hella brown.
We did that. Yeah.
Hey, you know what's funny though? Is I did have one of the homies that would drink the bong water, and I swear to God, I'd be like, drink the bong water every time.
Dude, why would you assume that was me?
Listen,
I ain't gross.
You're white.
I'm gonna be honest with you because there was always the one white guy that hang with us that would do like that. Like you probably be the one that drink the bong water, right? He's like, hell no. He's like, but I'll make it.
All right.
No, but I do wait too long to clean the bong. I'll hit dirty bong water. I don't care about that.
So look, I got this, which is kind of dirty right now. But this is what keeps this clean right here. You got to get these ash catchers because I clean those out maybe twice a day. And but man, it's so much easier than cleaning the entire bong because it doesn't really get dirty. It's the ash catcher that gets dirty. Yeah.
Yeah, the double bubblers they have like that. Yeah.
All right, so we're smoking one more bowl, and then we're doing this giveaway here. So last chance to get those super chats in. Go ahead and do it right now. So I'll get you added to those extra entries. Oh yeah. And Ron, have you ever seen The League?
The show The League?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, Bogey, you really haven't seen it, right? The League?
No, I'm apparently I'm Ralphie. Is that what people tell me?
Well, I mean, I'm not even saying that, but there's a guy in there.
I get told that you would be Ralphie if you were in The League. I'm like I don't know whether to be offended or not.
Not a compliment.
I think it's just because you guys look similar. Like, I mean, that's really got to be it. Is the beard?
Oh,
but so there's this dude who they fuck with, Andre. He's like the little bitch of their group. And so the very first episode, they have their draft, and he lives in a Chicago like loft and shit, and brings them all up. They all come up there. He's got girls, delivering the drinks and all that. And they're still kind of talking shit to him, just treating him like the Andre that he is, even though he's successful now. And he's got a big roach, like on his wall, like a roach to like a joint that he put on his wall and like framed it. And it was like the first time that he ever got high. And the guys didn't tell him that the first time that he ever got high was with a joint of pubic hair.
Damn, that's fucked up.
So like that's the kind of shit that they do to Andre through the entire show.
And then at the end, you got Taco in the bathroom shaving his pubes to see if it works.
That guy was gonna try to shave hers, but they're already gone.
I would be Taco. That's
It's easy to say that about everyone. Taco's a real
everyone that's in this group, probably. Yeah.
Taco's a big entrepreneur, though. Like, he was the most successful.
We would all be the guys shaving our pubes to give it to a little bitch, dude.
Man, Taco Corp, like, man, he worked with Marshawn Lynch, like, ended up like selling DallasCowboys.com to Jerry Jones for $400,000, and then campaigned that into millions.
And where'd her bottle go? Did you throw your bottle, baby?
Antonio said, "Oh shit, you would be." All right.
Who is Bogey and Entourage people?
Yeah.
She's not drinking it. She's just playing with it.
All right, here we go. I got everyone's names in here.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Sounds good. We got everyone's names in here. All right. And Antonio said, don't forget about the EBDBB&B. Yeah, the Eskimo Brothers, bed and breakfast. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Where's the button? All right. So whoever's number one, this will be making its way to you very soon. Just need your address. All right. Here we go.
I said, are you ready?
Oh, Quentin. Okay, this is Q-Tip. All right. Quentin's in a bunch of leagues with us. And Anthony said, I'm entered. I'm still a subscriber on Twitch. Yep. And I'm pretty sure you're on Patreon as well. So you had double points for that or entries. Damn. And but yep, Quentin Jones, Q-Tip. He is the winner of the Buddha Baker signed jersey giveaway. Matt, second runner-up. If Quentin doesn't get back to me or whatever, for whatever reason, it'll be going to Matt. But Quentin, he's in like 2 or 3 leagues. So
is Q-Tip from a show? That sounds familiar to me.
What would Q-Tip be from? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sure it's from
Power or something. I don't know.
It could be. Totally could be. Man, all right. Well, we were going to get up out of here anyways. So that was really the last thing that we were going to be doing before we get up out of here. But we got the playmakers coming back on here. It's players that we're the highest on for 420. And I'm not even really sure who I'm the highest on right now. I'm just really, really high right now.
Ricky Williams.
Yeah, let's draft Ricky Williams. He'll be coming on the show back real soon. We're working on scheduling him right now. So that should be within these next week or two.
And you got another Dynasty one dropping, right?
We got another Dynasty League that's going to be starting. So we didn't get a chance to record it. We're going to be recording that real soon, but we got a Dynasty Strategies videos coming out with me, Bogey, Spencer the Guru, that should be coming out by this weekend, hopefully. And make sure you go to hustlerpod.com. Make sure you go subscribe there. We need more subscribers on the podcast. And other than that, we're out of here, and we'll keep it with the Hanging with the 420 crew. Peace out.
Hold up. Hey. I'm so high.
In the morning, I smoke 2 joints at night.
I smoke 2 joints when I play video games, and every 10,000 points.
Is it such a crime? Hey, everybody should be getting high.
Hope you're ready for the next episode. Hey, smoke weed every day.